Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO. I can't even get my own words straight. Got a whole monologue in my head and it's just completely just gone. But anyways, hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another random live stream as normal. And in this video, we have a young black man stating, quote, as a man, I advise you to go listen to your dad's side of the story. Now, this is something that I've talked about a multitude of times, specifically when it deals with kids and only hearing one side of the story, right? One side is the hero and the other one is made to be a villain. But he's going to say something and somebody else is going to have some comments. But let's get into it.
And I'm gonna be real, bro. As a man, bro, I advise you, bro, go hear your dad's side of the story. I'm not saying he couldn't be fucked up. I'm not saying he couldn't have left you for no reason. I'm not saying that he couldn't have been a bad person. He couldn't have made a mistake, none of that. But I advise you just go hear his side of the story and decide from there. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I hear this happen so often. And like it kind of fucked me up every time I'm hearing it, cause it's like it's fucked up. But it'll be a dude he wanna be in his kid life, like he wanna be an active father. You
Right.
got a baby mom for whatever reason. Maybe she petty about the new girl, trying to teach him a lesson, trying to use it as an opportunity to get more money. Or she could just be a bad person and she kind of used the kid as leverage against the dude, trying to control him, and he got to say and do everything she want, or she gonna take the kid away from him. And I get what y'all saying. Go to court, go to court, go to court. Go look at the percentages on that. And a lot of dudes, it's not even that they don't want to pay child support. They just don't want to give her the money. They don't mind spending a bag on their kids. They just don't want to get you the money.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, it's a lot of dudes out there. If you was to go sit down, and I'm talking about have a good conversation with your pops, bro, you wouldn't even be mad at bro no more.
And that's facts. Everything that he stated is 100% facts. From the point of a lot of stories and narratives have specifically been given directly to kids in order to believe about their father. Everything is normally negative. From the extent of the father wanting to be in the lives of the child, but yet he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And a lot of women will happen to be like, oh, well, if you don't want to be with me, then guess what? You're not going to be around. You're not going to be with the kids. And that's what it's going to be. And then on top of that, I'm going to throw you directly on child support to further put more insult to injury. And as he stated before, a lot of guys don't have a problem spending money directly on their kids because those are their kids. The problem is giving the money directly to the mother, because you have a lot of moms out here, which you've been able to see on social media, and some have been very, very vocal, and they'll state that they will spend money on nails, hair, shoes, fashion, going out on dates, going out to the club, doing things that have nothing to do with the child. But yet the money that is taken out of a man's paycheck, out of his bank account, is specifically supposed to be for the child, not for your luxury. It's not supposed to be paid for your lifestyle, right? But as I stated before, we're going to have somebody here who had some comments, right? Shout out to Bulls. We got COD in the building. COD said, happy 2025 from your fan in Asia. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation to you and yours as well. And happy 2025 to you. We got the old man Ty in the building. What is up, brother? What is up? What is up? So this is what one of the comments I was able to get online, right? And it's normal, I have to zoom this in so that I can read it. So I might have to reposition it. So the first one that she said, regardless of what the mom did, he still abandoned you. And now notice how she put that in caps, right? She was like, she's standing on 10 on this. She's like, it doesn't matter. It's irregardless. Whatever the mom did, it could be the most detrimental thing possible that she did to the child or the children. It doesn't matter. The father still abandoned you, right? So no matter what the mother does, the narrative is that she is still God's chosen one. She is still the greatest of the greatest when it deals with parents, and the father is way less than, right? She said, why do y'all continue to miss the fact that he still left you when he could have taken you? And it took your whole life for him to reach out and tell you anything. That's crazy. It's not a whole life. We're talking about the example of when somebody happens to get older, right? Maybe it's 18, 19, 20, 21. That's not somebody's whole life. That's not even a whole human lifespan. So I'm not exactly sure where she thought that she was going directly with this, but she is 100% wrong. She is incorrect. And as stated before, she was like, "Hey, he could have just taken you." How? Everybody knows that when it deals with the system that we have, that men do not have all of this ownership and rights directly over kids. We don't. That's just how it works, right? The main argument that you will always hear women just so happen to make is that, hey, we spend 9 months. We're the ones going through labor. We're the ones that will, potentially even lose our lives directly on the table and all of these other things, right? That's all to say that the child belongs solely to them, that they have ownership, that they have rights because of everything that they had to sit up there and sacrifice. So again, how she's writing online talking about he could have just taken his kid. How? Where? On what planet, on what earth, out of all of the multiverse, are you in where a father can be just like, yeah, I'm just going to take my kids and go? No, 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 no. Fathers can't do that. If a father wanted to just come take his kid on a trip, no, he has to get permission from several different entities in order to do that. If you're quote unquote co-parenting and going through the courts and stuff, if a mother wants to take a trip to Fiji, if she wants to go to Africa with her child, guess what? She can do that and nobody's going to say anything. And you post that online, women are going to be like, "Oh yeah, she has the right to take her child wherever she please. That's her child at the end of the day." And da 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 da. If it's the father, everybody's like, "No, you're in the wrong. It's a co-parenting situation. You should always run that past the other parent for a just in case." And yeah, like I said, the craziest narratives will get spun online. So later she said, the excuses men make and the grace they give their fathers when your dad didn't even think twice about leaving you. Are you dumb? Kidnapping your own child, if you sign the birth certificate, that's null and void. You could take the baby and it would be family court's decision. Where are we even at this moment? I'm like, what? Like at one moment she's sitting up here stating that, oh yeah, you can just take the child and whatever, but then the next moment she's talking about that men just magically give grace to father. No, you have a lot of dudes out here that still hate their fathers, and let me just be very clear, right? Because of a lack of understanding that I had when I was younger. At a moment I was that same young man, right? Where I had this type of dislike for my father, right? Because I was just trying to figure out things. I'm like, hey, if I'm here, if whatnot or whatever, like, how come this guy ain't trying to, really see me and all that other type of stuff. But again, that was me trying to fill in gaps, right? That was me trying to figure things out as a young man. And you know what happened the first time that I was able to actually meet my father? All of that dissipated. The moment in time that man rolled up to the house and I was able to see him and it became real. And again, like I'm gonna just, put this into perspective, right? When I knew that I was going to meet my father for the first time, I dressed as if it was like some type of business deal or whatnot, right? Like we're going to be sitting at the table and, we got these, types of things that we got to go over. We got these paperwork, right? In my mind, I thought that's how you're supposed to just, do this because I didn't know, right? So I dressed and I thought I was, all right. I saw him and I was like, wow, this is really about to happen. Like he actually, showed up. In the moment in time that happened, it was like a light flickered on, and it's like, yo, this is your dad. It's like he exists. He's actually here, right? And that type of I can't explain the type of happiness that you get from something like that, right? And again, this is coming from the perspective of being raised in a single parent household, right? And on top of the fact, I also want to add in that at never at any point in time, at any extent, has my mother, since the existence of me being here in front of me or around me, never at any point in time has that black woman ever said anything negative, horrendous. Never has she tried to drag his name through the mud. She's never said anything negative about that man. So I just want to make that very clear, right? Because you have different calibers of black women directly out here. And obviously, when I bring up my mom as an example, she's obviously far above a lot. because you have a lot of other black women out here that will decide to talk around or directly to their kids and try to directly tell them like, hey, you better believe everything that I'm telling you. Your father is this, he's that. Don't believe anybody else's words. You better not even talk to him. You all this other type of stuff, right? So my dad comes in, we, shake hands, and it's all smiles and everything. And again, I got my little bit of paperwork. I got my poems that I've written over the years. Um, I got some drawings, and I think I had some things dealing with like video games and all that different type of thing. I'm trying to figure out during the time, was I running track? Because I was trying to remember. I think I might have. I think I might have showed him the shirt that I had from running track and everything. But it was a very awesome experience. It was a very, very awesome experience to um go through. And it's almost like you were there, and it's also an out of body experience at the same time when something like that takes place. But again, the reason I'm bringing this up from my experience is to further put more weight on what it is that the guy said earlier, where you need to have those conversations. You need to talk to your father and different things like that, just to get to know him, just to see if everything is everything, or to see if there is another side to a story. And I want to just note to this woman here again, don't know who she is realistically. It's not excuses that men give. Right. We have a certain understanding where a lot of men will be made to be vilified, criminalized, to be the supervillain, to be the big bad boogeyman, and they're not able to tell their stories. It's only one side that is literally there for the existence of that child's lifespan, uttering and telling these exact same words. It wasn't that long ago that somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I might mispronounce the name. I think her name was like Ilian Yavance, right? If you know who I'm talking about, right? She had a show where a black father who has three daughters, she made up all of these stories. She also stated that the father committed some very horrendous, right? Very horrendous acts towards his own daughters, right? And many more things. And she was standing 10 toes down directly on this. And she was like, this is what it is. He did this. I know he did it. Yada, yada, yada. So the father was like, no problem. You feel like I did this to my daughters. You said this is your word. You said your worth is truth. You are God. No problem. We'll just take this lie detector test and see what the truth really is. The father took the lie detector test, and it determined that the father 100% told the truth. Now, again, I'm not a scientist, but I can obviously tell that that father more than likely didn't do any type of read ups or studies on how to beat a lie detector test. So I'm going to go with the father on the fact that he never did any of those things that the mom said that he did. Because if he did, guess what? It would have showed up in a lie detector test. And even still, with the proof of the lie detector test, the mother was like, I don't care. I know what he did. Word? You can't even just come out and say that you were just wrong, that you just messed up. You're messed up in the head so much so you're just like you got so much hatred and anger for this man that you're willing to make up stories so that these these young girls, your daughters, will hate him, if not more, than what you have for him. And this is what a lot of men talk about all the time, about how it is that women out here will tell a lot of these stories, a lot of these lies, and it's only one side. And then it gets magnified when you put these types of things online on social media. You'll just have women from all over just believing and just eating it up. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard this story from this girl. I heard this from my mom. I heard this from my aunt. I heard this from my grandma. Right? It'll be all these echoes coming together to formulate one voice, just to say that yes, these men out here ain't worth nothing. They're all liars. They're all deadbeats. When not any of those women that want to utter these words have literally had conversations with these men. They're just following the words of other women blindly. in 100% full faithfulness. Crazy work, right? But then the last part that she said, and also the family of the courts do not side with him. And I'm just going to be 100% honest. I don't know why it is that a lot of women keep saying, like, oh, you need to fight for your kids, fight for your kids. The court system is not built for men to win. That's just is it's built to keep that separate so that they can get money. Men will sit up there and suffer, and women will feel as though that they're on this type of like pedestal, or that they'll be pedestalized. That's it. Like I said before, it's crazy how all of these people keep trying to tell men to fight for something that they shouldn't have to fight for. You've never heard anybody out there tell a woman that, yeah, you need to fight for your kids. You need to. Nope. Nope. Not at all. Right. Last but not least, she said, the police don't involve themselves with custody cases. I know for a fact because my daughter's dad did. And that's exactly what the cop said to me. So all in all, we're looking at a woman making comments, and she's more than likely the exact same woman who the man in the video was talking about. Where you got these women out there giving these narratives, giving these stories, and just stating anything that they want to sit up there and state. By her own words, by her own admission, she is a baby mom. She is more than likely one of those types. And again, this is just her sitting up there writing online. Instead of her spending time with the kids, educating, homeschooling, doing whatnot or whatever, she wants to take part in online discourse. Right? You got a child to raise. You're a mother at the end of the day, right? You should really have no time for social media. I'm just going to sit up there and be real, unless you're making money from it, right? But yet here we are. This is what she wants to sit up there and do, and what she wants other women out there to believe as well. I can only imagine the stories that she tells about the father to the kids, to or around. I can only imagine. Only imagine. But anyways, also, I wasn't able to catch up on the comments because I was, looking at OBS. Much love to everybody that is here. Uh, Ty said, "Let me go ahead and get ready for this band trigger." This man right here. Bull said, "I didn't say ish to my daughter about her father. She's the one who told me he was a deadbeat. She said he would have her babysit his girlfriend's 4 kids so him and his girlfriend could go out." Well, that's tough. Um, but the main thing I stated before, given the example of, you know, how it is that I grew up, I'm just stating all men are not deadbeats. Well, let me be more specific. All black men out here are not deadbeats. From at least my personal experience of being around friends who are fathers, or women that I've known or dated who have fathers. This is from my experience. So, like I said before, a lot of women out here have the experience of running up on the wrong guy, and that person, y'all mix and mingle, and a child is born. I don't know what to sit up there and tell people. I don't know what to tell people. It's tough. Lunch said, "What is up? What is up? What's up?" Israelites said they be buying wigs and everything. I am said, "I haven't seen you in years." Yeah, the funny part is, I fairly often, I'm not gonna say every day, fairly often I do videos and live streams on these platforms. And the reason why you haven't been able to see me is because of YouTube, because of the lack of notifications that properly go directly out. How it is that YouTube just so happens to update the system, and then they reset the notifications, forcing you as the subscriber, viewer, what have you, to go back through your settings and turn on the bell notifications so that you can properly receive said notifications. Trust me, because I'm subscribed to myself. And when I look directly on my phone, you know what I don't see? I don't see notifications going directly to my phone informing me that I even went live. So I know for a fact that YouTube is playing games. I know for a fact that a lot of you guys are not getting notifications because I don't even get notifications when I go live. So that's the world that we live in at this moment in time. Shout out to YouTube though. Shout out to YouTube. Can't beat the allegations. Let me tell you. Israelites said they act like they own the children for life. I brought you in and I can take you out. Yeah, that's a classic right there. Ash said parenting by default is nothing to be proud of. What is up? DC Precise said, what is up, Seji? Nothing much. Doing a classic live stream as usual. Seeing how everybody's doing, what everybody feels about the topic. Israelite said this is how the deadbeat black man got out of hand. They never wanted the man in the child's life. Yeah. And you know, again, you have some guys out there that do abandon responsibilities. Again, I said some, not all, not the majority, some. And you have a lot of others out there that want to be specifically in their child's life. But again, you have a lot of women out there that make it very difficult, especially if the guy has moved on from her and the guy is happy or he's remarried and it looks like he's just living it up. And the only thing that he wants to be a part of that life is his daughter. A lot of women don't like that. They don't want that because they feel that if you're going to be happy, then I should be there. But if you're happy and I'm not there, then neither are your kid or your kids. Right. And again, you have women out here. This is not me just saying it. There's women out here who have been very vocal about this. I've shown both tweets. I've shown threads. I've shown IG videos, YouTube videos, TikTok videos, videos directly off of X, Facebook, wherever. I even gave you guys a video not too long ago. It was probably about, well, it was long ago, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where a father who was active in his child's life, seeing him, pretty much daily from at least the perspective of what was set up. You had them go to court because the mother was mad because he was in a relationship with somebody else and all this, whatnot or whatever. And he's walking out with the papers. He was like, yo, this is crazy. It's like, I see the kids every day and I sit there and take care of them and I pay my child support and everything like that. She was like, you mad. You guess what? You ain't going to be seeing the kids every day like you've been able to sit up there and see them. And I'm about to sit up there and get more money from you. And that's what she was doing while recording. Like I said, you have a lot of bitter women directly out here that will just do things for emotional reasons, not for logical reasons, but for emotional reasons. And nobody likes to talk about that. Everybody always wants to talk about, a lot of these men out here that are straight deadbeats. They not doing this, they not. But what about the women? What about the mothers who are deadbeats? What about the women who use their kids as pawns, use them for a paycheck? Some of these women out here don't have jobs, but they got 7, 8, or 19 kids. So how do you think that they're able to facilitate any type of living? Oh, that's right. They get a check every day from Uncle Sam, from Daddy Government, that facilitates all the needs and wants directly right there. On top of having Section 8, which is paying for what 80 to like 95% of the rent, no matter where they decide to sit up there and live. Crazy work. Diabolical. But like I said before, the fathers are the problem though. The fathers are always 100% the problem, and the women out here are directly innocent. Crazy work though. Crazy work. J Cage, what is up? What is up? Said, what is up, Seji and fam? Israelite said that's what happened to 50 Cent and his son. Jedi Say said, what is up, Seji and B1 family from Las Vegas? Yo, what is up? What is up? You living it up out there, rolling them dice one day at a time. What is up? Israelite said she should be in prison. Bars. Yo, what is up, Pink? What is it? We got Bulls fans said, my dad was not a deadbeat. My brother was not a deadbeat. My ex's dad was not a deadbeat. My ex turned into a deadbeat after coming back from the United States Marine Corps boot camp. They sent him home just to not be here anymore. Gotcha. Bulls fan said his mind was not right after that. I believe it. A lot of guys who happen to go through the military, they see a lot of things and they suffer. And even if he, never seen actual, combat, you have some people that have to go through some things that they can't really talk to people about. Right. I've run stories on this channels before, dealing with boot camps and how it is that a lot of people suffer and go through mental difficulties when dealing with these boot camps, especially by way of their peers. And it's bad. It is bad. Bangani, what's up? You said respect and love, brother Seji. Much love, respect to you and yours. We got K5 in the building. Said gotta head out in 30 minutes. I'm going to listen to you until I have to go. All right, I got you, brother. Got you, brother. Carmela said most of them don't want to work. Wait, are you talking about the fathers or are you talking about the mothers? I'm trying to figure out because I'm not sure which one you're specifically talking about. K5 said, "What is up to all?" Diamond Girl, what is up? You said my estranged husband opened up a credit card in my name without my knowledge. He charged $4,000 and stopped paying the bill. My credit plummeted. What should he tell my daughter then? Well, ma'am, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to make it as honest as possible, right? If at my point in my life, I can realize that looking back when I was younger, I made the wrong decisions in dating women. Like if I go back to high school, early 20s, I made wrong decisions, right? I might have necessarily not paid attention to red flags or anything like that, right? That is on me, right? I can't, necessarily, blame a villain for doing villain things if I allowed that villain, right, to be next to me in order to commit those acts, right? It is on me because I should have had more attention, more awareness, right? So to you, by me saying that, right, you got married to this guy, correct? I'm pretty sure that there were some red flags, correct? I'm pretty sure you ignored those red flags because you were like, hey, maybe you could sit up there and change them. Maybe it's not what you think, or you were just really going for your own type of happiness, or maybe you guys might have had a child directly out of wedlock. Again, I've seen a lot of these situations. I've known a lot of women, talked to them over the years. And as I've commonly stated, when it deals with relationships and women choosing the wrong guys, 9 times out of 10, women will forego their own spidey sense. They'll overlook that, especially if it's the wrong guy. They'll overlook that magically. They'll turn that key directly off, right? And they will overlook whatever it is that their friends or their families, right, or other people are specifically telling them about a guy. So I'm saying this with every fiber of my being with actual care because I'm the type of person that went through certain things in life and I only have myself to blame. You have yourself to blame. If that man was able to open up a credit card in your name, who got married to that man? Who selected that man? Who accepted the ring and the engagement? Who dated that man? That would be you. Now, again, I'm not excusing what it is that he did. He was 100% wrong. You could easily file charges if you have everything that you need paperwork wise to prove that, yo, he did this and this is, you can take him to civil court. By all means, go do that because you got robbed. Right now, if this happened during the marriage, it's a little bit different, right? Because people are just gonna be like, well, this was during the marriage versus it being after, the marriage. And the thing that you're going to tell your daughter is don't make the same mistake I made. Teach her how to pay attention to red flags. That's what you do. As a woman, as a parent, that is what you do. Make sure that your daughter does not fall victim to the nonsense, to the stupidity of oneself. Tell her to take into consideration the voices of other people. If they maybe spot some things that are inconsistent and don't make sense. That's what you do. Because every single time that I happen to talk about relationships and different things on social media, I put myself directly into that. And I try to be as transparent as possible and let people know, like, hey, I messed up. I didn't pay attention. I wanted to forego the red flags because of whatever reasons during that time. Can't tell you because I'm not that same person from then, but I decided to overlook, those red flags. I didn't pay attention. So that's the best that I can sit up there and tell you. Too many times and too many instances, we as people need to start taking responsibility for the decisions that we make in life, no matter how hard that may be. $4,000 are basically gone, right? That's a very costly, mistaken experience that now you have to sit up there and deal with the manager. I'm pretty sure that as a working woman, I'm assuming that you're working, I'm assuming that you're educated, you'll be able to make that back tenfold with no problem. But again, it's a very costly, experience, decision. Because again, if you take yourself out of the situation, right, which means that there would be no marriage, there would be no engagement, there would be no relationship, and more than likely, if the daughter is from this guy, there would be no daughter. What does that then mean? That would then mean that what you're explaining to me right now would not be there because you're not a part of that person's life. You're not anywhere there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ty said, don't have it when you got checks coming. That's what makes them do it to begin with. You said should have been checking your credit. Yeah, there should have been some notifications going off. This that should have been, because you said you're a estranged husband. So I'm not sure how long ago estranged you guys may have been, or if you guys are divorced, because you didn't say divorced. So I guess you guys are just separated. So again, that's going to be a little bit problematic. But like I said before, take all of your paperwork, show all of the timestamps, show all of the transactions, and take that directly to court. And if he's estranged, maybe he might show up to court, maybe he won't. And then you're going to, potentially have to, keep doing this up until I guess they can, probably arrest him for theft or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Rabbit said, never met my dad. Don't miss him. Can't miss what you never had. My mom claimed to not like him, but for some reason she always kept mentioning him during unrelated arguments with me. Yeah, that tends to happen. That tends to happen. Ty said he charged $4,000 and you never noticed he was bringing stuff home. Well, Ty said, wait, nah. Right. So now we're going to continue. And this is, in a sense, going on with the theme, right? Where we're dealing with these relationships and things like this. This one is going to be a little bit different. So shout out to White America. This one is for you.
So much. But I've always wanted a partner to be on the same wavelength. And so today I can't. I'm sorry, but I don't want that to be misunderstood. I still love you, and everything about you is amazing. Okay. And I care about you so much.
So this is an actual wedding.
I love you so much. And I want to stay with you and keep growing our relationship if you'll let me.
We'll see. We'll talk about that.
We're still good hard.
Go ahead. I know that the connection we have is so real, and my heart is there. But we talked about a lot of the values that I hold so close to my heart. Making this decision, my mind is telling me I can't. How are you having siblings? What?
Right. So
are you okay? You're okay. We can see me in the back.
Nah, that's let me let y'all know something, because the video not even done yet. Let me let y'all know. So this woman, because I got another video loaded up. So this woman basically knew that she didn't want to get married to this guy, and this is what I be talking about all the time, right? It takes, women don't have to propose. They don't know what that's like. They just have to sit there and say yay or nay. That's it. Just like dating. Women don't understand or know the pressure that it is to be a guy at all when it deals with these serious circumstances. And a lot of women always wonder, like, yo, why don't guys want to get married? Why don't you guys take the first step and propose? Why are you guys so scared? Because no guy ever wants to sit up there and put all of his eggs in one basket, end up in the church in front of all of his people, and sit up there and get embarrassed like this, where you're sitting up here telling him, you know what? I don't want to do this. Word? You couldn't have said this before all of this money got spent? Before we had everybody here, suits and ties, people flying out from all around America to come sit here and to see this moment. You word, like I said, stuff like this. This is why a lot of guys do not want to sit up there and get married. Because you can give a woman specifically what it is that she wants, and she'll still decide that this is not it. This is not good enough. That's crazy. And then you're going to do this on the day of, during the actual ceremony. You couldn't have done this like a year or two ago. Why would you what is this? If this he better get that ring back. Let me tell you something. That ring better be coming directly back to that guy, because that was an agreement that was broken, and it was broken by way of her. By definition, I've seen divorce court too many times. She's the one that broke the marriage off. She returns that ring. It is no longer a gift to you. It was a gift based on, hey, we're going to sit up there and get married, yada yada yada, all this other. Like I said, she needs to sit up there and hand that right back. I don't know how much that ring costs. I don't even care if it was like a Cracker Jack box ring. She better be returning all of that. And then the most craziest thing, Bulls fans said, is this a movie? Nah, this was a show. This was an actual, I guess you could say, reality TV show, whatever it was. But for the most part, that he's the one that, in a sense, is heartbroken. Like, I want you to notice, right? She's the one that's smiling, walking down the aisle in reverse, smiling. And the women are like, are you okay? Is everything? Word? She's completely fine. She's the one that sat up there and bro. Let me let y'all know, if that man decided that he was like, yo, I don't want to do this no more, he started walking down the aisle, one of like her father would probably, or some of the men in her family, be like, yo, how dare you do this to my daughter? We're about to sit up there and have some words. You can't do anything. This is this, right? It'll be all of that rah rah rah, right? But because it's the woman doing it, notice how everybody's like, oh my God, are you okay? Is everything fine? That's some crazy work. That's some crazy work to ask if somebody is okay when they already made this decision a long time ago. When it deals with guys, we normally make these decisions, let's say, on the spot, right? We may maybe a little bit before we might have an inkling, right? But never really do anything about it. Women know these things. I'm talking about days, weeks, months, or even sometimes years. Sometimes years. So she already knew what it was that she wanted to do. She just wanted a larger stage to sit up there and do it because of the selfishness, because she wants the attention. Crazy work, but let's continue.
And
now she got him dressed. Women are following her.
Oh yeah, as a Jad, like I was really handled, and I'm like, he's such a great person. I just like,
he's such a great. Now, no, I want you. This is, I don't even. This is the thing that always gets me every time, right? She said, let me try to rewind that back real quick for y'all, right? She said that the guy,
like, he's such a
right, is such a great person, right there. Such a great person, but not great enough for you to get married to walk down that aisle, to start a family with, to live happily ever after. This is going to be the type of woman that is going to go right back to the dating market, and she's going to use this as some type of like story to gain sympathy. Like it's going to be something else directly with this. Like I said before, you have a lot out there that use things for attention. She's one of those women. She's one of those women. And before watching this, I originally thought that, maybe the guy was the bad person in this. I was like, yo, it was something that, he did, whatnot, or whatever, right? Not dealing with the full totality or, the context. But again, we're going to get to it in a minute.
great person. I just like,
Ty said it was Ben and Sarah, Love is Blind.
I just hope
Okay.
made
Thank
the
you,
right
brother.
decision.
So, right, those were the main things that she wanted to list. These were the reasons that on the altar at the moment in time why she said that she can't do it. She said because of equality, religion, and of course, medical. So those were the three things that you were like, oh, those are red flags. I can't get married to this guy. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And you know the craziest part is when you watch the next clip, she's gonna say in this clip that she expected to, hopefully find a guy that was going to match up with everything that she wanted. This is the delusion that a lot of women live directly in. And this is why I sat up there and said before, as a guy, it doesn't matter what you do for a woman, she's still going to be unhappy. Somehow, some way, she's still going to be unhappy, and you're going to be the cause of that unhappiness, even if it has nothing to do with you. A woman can be unhappy because she's a woman, just because she's in her mental, and magically the world is going to be like, yo, you see that woman unhappy, why are you allowing her to be unhappy? It's your job to make sure that she's happy. I'm like, that's some crazy stuff, because on the return, when it's reversed, the world is not telling a woman that it is your job to sit up there and make that man happy. If he's unhappy mentally, you need to sit up there and do whatever you need to do to make that man happy. Nobody's sitting up there saying that. What is the main quote that everybody likes to say? Happy wife, happy life. What about the husband, though? What about the husband, though? Because you got a whole bunch of women out here that's married, right? And the main happiness that a lot of women seem to get from being married to rich guys is the money. But guess what? Even with the money, they're still not happy. So what happened? I'm just trying to figure out. But anyways, we're gonna go directly from her smiling face, right, on this day of the wedding, right, this big day where you would actually expect her to be crying that she had to, not do this, not get married again. Notice how the guy is. Notice his face. He's like, man, I just want to have a conversation, because he feels in his mind that he may be able to change how it is that she feels about everything, and then they can still get married. He still has hopes, right? She, on the other hand, she's like, nah, this is done. I'm good. I'm on this TV show. I'm pretty sure that my DMs are going to be blowing up, and guys from all over the world are going to come swoop me off of my feet. Right? Again, you got difference in energy directly here, right? But let's continue. Like, I want y'all to understand, like, when paying attention to body language, he knows that there is like something there, but he's like, it can't be that serious. Like, we love each other, we know each other, everything is still here. We're going to get married. We're going to sit up there and make this work, right? That is his mentality, right? Hope, which I said is a fool's errand, because hope does not exist, right? And then her demeanor and her face, where she's just dead. Like, that's just it. Like, the moment of time that he explained a lot of the things that he believes in and sees and whatnot, she was like, yeah, this ain't it. I don't know exactly what I specifically saw in him. I don't even know why we're even doing this right now. Like, this is just, yeah, this is not it, right? Let's continue. She said it's been easy between them, right? They really haven't had any arguments, no difficulties, anything like that, right? And she knows that because this is a vastly different thing, right? From where she was stating on the day of the wedding, after she was in the dress and on the couch, that she had all these things, all of these concerns, right? And he didn't really just match up with this stuff, right? And I was like, that's a little bit weird. I'm like, what do you specifically, mean by that, right? So then in this instance, he's sitting up here saying, like, he cares about people, right? He has LGBT. So he is completely broad and open and accepting to a lot of people. So then that goes back to what was stated earlier from her, where she was like, yeah, I watched a church, sermon, and it was straightforward, right? It was standard issue. Man dates woman, woman dates man proposes woman, and man get married and formulate right? The standard issue stuff. So which leads me to think, right, that he is more liberal for all intents and purposes, for the main uses of words that I can give you, and she is more conservative, right? Because she listed BLM, and I'm like, why? What does black people have to do with anything of you getting married? I'm like, where are we even at right now? Because I'm like, when I looked at that wedding ceremony, I didn't see a black face in there. I didn't see a black soul, right? The only thing black was probably somebody's shoes and a tie. That's it. So I'm like, what is BLM? What is this obsession with white people and always bringing up all of these groups that, as she stated before, I'm no expert. Then why are you bringing it up? Why are you talking about it? This is supposed to be your wedding day, right? Two white people getting together. Why are you bringing anything up dealing with black people? Crazy work. Crazy work. Once y'all, it was
Honestly, I'm so
real quick.
exhausted and just
Hold
tired.
on. It was real quick. When she said that, I just want to be very clear that we understand each other. She looked directly at him, then she looks at the side. I'm trying to tell you that when you look at stuff like this, you can clearly see when somebody is done, where they're just checked out, where they're just not there. And again, you would, in a sense, assume from the very first clip that, okay, it was obviously the guy, right? Because that's normally how the story is painted. You know, if a wedding or a marriage falls apart, everybody, the whole world is like, oh, yeah, it was the man's fault. It's never the woman's fault. It's always the guy's fault. Even if it's boyfriend or girlfriend, it's always the guy's fault of the reason why a breakup happened. It's never the woman. The woman does everything correct. She was perfect. She was cooking. She was cleaning. She was doing everything to the T. It was just the guy, right? But in this instance, you clearly hear something different.
That I'm like today, and I've not thought about too much stuff. Putting me on the spot and trying to think about it. I don't know if I can.
That's okay. Just ask.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah. I love you so much. If you ever feel like you're not appreciated or
let me roll that back real quick, right?
I love you so much.
Right? So notice he said, I love you so much. Look how that eye contact disappeared from her. When he directly looked at her, it was like, I love you. So even after all of that she said, he was like, you know what? I love you so much. She was checked out. She was done. She was done. And I wish this dude would have paid attention at that moment and realized that this is not going to work, so that he wouldn't have inevitably ended up looking like a fool on a stage, having all of that money spent or whatnot or whatever. Like I said, that's crazy to me. And like I said before, she knew this. Like they just said, like, hey, we got, days or weeks before the wedding or whatnot or whatever. She already knew. Her mind was made up that she did not want to get married to this guy. So then you have to ask yourself, then why still go through with it? If you know at the end of the day, at this moment, you don't want to sit up there and get married to this guy, why sit up there and pull him through the whole situation to have him look stupid? And then you're going to try to portray being a victim while everybody's watch you walk down the aisle. Are you okay? Are you okay? See me in the back. See me in the back. It's okay. I'm okay. See me in the back. Like I said, that's that whole victim stuff, man. Because all of this is like theatrics. It's all about attention. That's crazy. And like I said, I feel for a lot of guys out here when they sit up there and say that they are not trying to sit up there and get married. I feel it. I understand it. I because of stuff like this, you got these examples right here where no matter how it is, and she said that he's a great guy in both videos. She said that they didn't have no problems, no nothing, but yet he's so great, but yet he's not great enough to get married to her. He's not great enough to be her husband. That's some crazy work. That is some crazy work. And like I said before, this is by the woman's own words. This is not making it up just to have something to say. This is again by her own words, right?
If you ever feel like you're not appreciated or like valued, let me know. Like, because
her face says everything. Her face says everything about that moment. Let me tell you. Ty said, now Sarah 29 tells people what she really thought about his response, calling it disrespectful and unexpected. Man, the words that I want to use. Let me tell you something. When I first saw these clips, I had a whole variety of different words to basically state, because I feel bad for this guy. Like, anytime I see instances like this, I feel bad. Just like when I see videos of guys and they're at a basketball game and a kiss cam whatnot comes on, and then hold on. Sorry about that. Phone was ringing. So again, it makes no sense. What was it? Cinder Waffle. Yeah. I had to mute it because phone was ringing. But yeah, the craziest part is the fact that she knew. Again, I'm just going to repeat it. I'm going to beat a dead horse. She knew what it was that she wanted to do, and she opted to wait until the last minute. And examples like this are the very reasons of why guys are afraid to take the next step. This is why a lot of guys don't even want to be in a long-term relationship, because they feel that, hey, if I do invest, if I, happen to, go through and try to prove that I'm this right or this good guy, and then it ends up still not being enough. It's like, well, I just wasted my time. I could have just been dating 5 to 10 different women and just been doing that and just, been happy, versus being here in whatnot or whatever relationship and have everything just go to ash, right? Ty has said, if I send you a link, can you click it? I can't click it by way of StreamYard because that's mainly what I'm using. But if you're talking about if you send it through like Discord, I probably could. But if it's a video, I probably says you. Oh yeah, but if it's a video, I probably can't play because everything dealing with the copyright and music and stuff like that. So I would need to actually take time to do something with that one in order for it to be fine and everything. Bulls fan said he's trying to marry a woman and she might be trying to do the same. Wait, are you saying that she? Wait. I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out. Are you trying to say that, right? He wants to marry a woman, and that you're like she might be trying to. Are you saying that she herself may be a lesbian potentially? Because somebody had brought up a different point where they were like, maybe she feels that because of his LGBT friends that he might be on the down low, right? But to me, I'm like, that sounds a little bit crazy. I'm like, a lot of people, like, you could have like, that's like saying that if a white guy has black friends, then he might be, in a sense, black on the low or something like that. Like, y'all know what I'm saying, right? And in a lot of instances, that's just not the case. Like, some people just don't care. But like I said, it's it is what it is. It is what it is. Rabbit said, you ain't ish for laughing at good old boy, got me laughing too. No. It wasn't in a sense like laughing. Like I said, I understand. And like I said, I have sympathy for what it is that he had to, in a sense, go through, because that's huge embarrassment. But I can tell by the way that he is and the outlook that he has, which is very faulty, that he would more than likely still go out there and try to get married after this moment, after this type of embarrassment. And I'm like, yeah, nah, this ain't it, bro. You did this once. You should probably leave it for once. You might want to let this rest for about a good 10 years. 5-10 years, and then try to go back and do that again. At this moment in time, you already tried this. You got up the gall to and the energy and the moxie to propose and to do all of this. Yeah, let this rest for a minute. And let any other woman directly out there that wants to throw marriage up as a question. It's like, yeah, I tried this, it didn't work out, and I'm not about to just automatically jump back into it because somebody else basically wants that said thing, right? So like I said, that's tough. That is tough. Dwayne Williams said, marrying the enemy nowadays. Cinder Waffle said, bruh, these women are cheating on their husbands at their bachelorette parties. I've seen some videos in the UK. It says, oh, no, I've seen those videos too. Trust me, I got videos. Of course, I just can't put those directly out there. YouTube and everything. Can't do it. Let me see. Mute. No sound. Okay, so we're good. Yo, Namor X. What is up? What was it? Namor said, marriage is a serious thing. I'm leaving it for at least a decade from now. Yeah. Malek, what is up? What is up? You said, what normal people puts their business on TV or whatever this is? You're analyzing two psychotic attention individuals. I mean, this is the age that we're living in at this moment in time, right? Dating shows. But before this, I just want to put this directly out there, right? You've already had, before we got to this point, we've had television shows which analyze marriages, where married couples would go and talk to a psychologist or a therapist, and they would try to figure out their situation. During those times, of course, you know, the corporations or the money or the whatever the entities are making money from it, but they felt that, hey, we're putting this message directly out there, so just in case any other people in a marriage are going through these issues, that they can, in a sense, get information from watching the examples of these married couples, right? But now it's, you know, it's a little bit different. A lot of the women that just so happen to show up on these television shows and these dating shows, all of them got social media. They make sure they got a TikTok, they got a Twitter, they got an IG, and there you go. They'll show up on these shows like case in point. What is it? Popping the red balloon, pop the red balloon with Arletty. All of those women always have IGs. They always got social media presence. So you already know what's up. They're looking for attention. They can't get it strictly by themselves. So they're going to go on a lot of these in rotation. They're going to go to a lot of these dating shows in order to act out a certain type of way so they can clip farm, and they'll get that clip and then they'll post it to their social media. Because once it starts blowing up, then people are like, okay, now it's time. Let me just clip this. Let me put out my social media. And now let me sit up there and start telling my story. Let me get my 15 minutes in real quick. And that's what they do. But like I said before, it's a catch-22, because as soon as you do that and you get famous from it, that's all people going to want to see from you. They're not caring about nothing else. You can have a business, you can be a great mom, nobody cares about that. They want to see the crash out. They want to see the ignorance that you displayed at that moment of time continuously every single day. And this is how a lot of those women and others are now typecasted. You know, what was it? Ty said, it's not a video. No, I got you. You said I sent a link. It's her statement after the whole thing happened. Okay, I got you. Let me see. I'm going to try to open up Discord. Hopefully nothing happens. We're going to see. But yeah, I've heard about bachelor parties. Well, bachelorette parties, and the multitude of things that, you know, women will do and whatnot, right? Because everybody always is like, oh, men be doing this and doing that, and women just be innocent, not doing nothing. Nah. There's videos out there of women literally. Do I still have that video? I think I might still have a video of a woman that was cheating on the day of the marriage, sitting up there cheating. I'm like, you have to be kidding. I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. It's like, I don't understand. Like, what is the use? What is the use? And then the craziest part is, when you look at the younger generation that we have right now, it's going to be even worse. It is going to be even worse. All right, so let me see. You say you sent the link. Wait, did you send it? Yeah, okay, you did. Yeah. Let me see. Let me go to it real quick. Your temporary music in the feature. Oh, what? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, that was from March 8th. Yeah, I don't think it came through. I don't think it came through. I got the message from. Wait, hold on. Clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on, I got you. Okay, I got you. Love is Blind. Sarah says that she was shocked by Ben. Let me see this real quick. Click that. It's probably going to open up Explore. Yeah, it did. All right, let me close that. Yeah, let me just, because now I was trying to kick up real quick. Quit that. All right. She said the response at the altar, she says he had no depth. Quote, also me saying no to a marriage. Why would I continue dating someone? If you're going to say no to that, why even continue the relationship? Yeah, that's facts. Like what? Like there's no reason to even continue it, right? She said, after telling him that she didn't want to get married, Ben 22 offered up another solution. Stay with her and continue to grow their relationship. Sarah appeared caught off guard by the suggestion, awkwardly laughing and telling him, we'll see, right? That basically means a no. And later on, Sarah stated that what she really thought about his response, calling it disrespectful and unexpected, said, quote, I was shocked about that. Ultimately, me and Ben talked multiple times before the wedding of discussing is the safest decision for us, is the smartest decision for us. We really need to think about that. And so we were on the same page, and he knew coming in what I was going to say. And so when he asked that, I was shocked. He wanted to do that or be together still after, but I was shocked he asked that at the altar, knowing the circumstances of we are here to say yes or no. And also just with the whole entire concept of you walking away forever. I was like, that's disrespectful in a way of what we signed up for and the whole entire point of why we're here. And so I was shocked he asked that there. Sarah also notes that she found Ben's suggestion inappropriate because she didn't think they could backtrack from being fiance to simply dating. Also, me saying no to marriage. Why would I continue dating someone? If you're going to say no to that, why even continue the relationship? That's been the theme of mine where I know in the past, my past relationships, I know that this person isn't my person, but oh, maybe they can change, or maybe there was potential there. I could see us growing together, and I didn't want to continue the cycle of that. So I'm very happy that I answered in the way that I did with saying, well, we'll see and talk about it because I didn't want to give an answer. My mind, wait. She also stated that my mind, it was not in that setting at all. I just needed to process everything that happened. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. I'm just gonna go out here on a limb. Any man that decides to get married to that woman, you deserve it. You deserve it. You are bringing that directly to yourself. That woman needs to be alone for the rest of her life. At no point in time should any guy out here be dumb enough to roll up to the scene and be like, yeah, that's the wife for me. Yeah, I'm going to get married to that. No, you don't, unless you're stupid and you like misery and pain. That's the only reason to sit up there and do it. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That makes no type of sense at all. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. And for her to sit up there and be thrown off, she was like, I made my decision. I don't know why you had to be so disrespectful and ask me, could we still be boyfriend and girlfriend? Word? He still wanted to have something to do with you after you already embarrassed him. Like, that's like, you're saying that that's disrespectful? Any man that wants to even date her, oh, you love tragedy. You love tragic stories because you're going to be one of them. Like I said, that's crazy. She's 29 and this is how she's acting. Woo! It's going to be a single road. Let me tell you, it is going to be a cold, cold world directly out there. And like I said, hopefully guys are paying attention. Hopefully guys are paying attention because women like her will lead other women to be single. Let me tell you, that's crazy. That is diabolical. Narmore said, if a celebrity doesn't cheat, he ain't famous. The social engineers are engineering society to act a certain way. Family values are no longer promoted, right? You said he or she. Namor also said, I got a question for women. Do you really like/want an out of the blue marriage proposal, or do you prefer it to be discussed first? Yeah, and you know, that's actually a good question because you'll have a lot of women out here that will specifically state that, yo, I want to be surprised, right? But then at the same time, they want to talk about it because guess what? They want to know the type of ring. This let me put it to you like this, right? if a guy wants to propose to a woman, what's inevitably going to happen is that if a guy wants to buy a standard issue ring, because of how women have been psychologically trained, they automatically expect a guy to be spending, getting like 4, 8 or whatever carats. Like I said, I don't know what the price point of any of those rings are, but women expect thousands or tens of thousands of dollars directly on their finger because that lets the whole world know that the guy loves them. Not how it is that the dude treats them every single day, what he does for them, how he provides, right? How he nurtures or shelters to try to push her forward to meet her goals and her expectations. No. It's the ring at the end of the day. So if you're a guy and you decide that you want to go out there and propose, I promise you that in a lot of instances, a woman is going to be maybe ecstatic about the proposal, but they're going to be less ecstatic about that ring because it's not going to live up to the concept. It's not going to live up to the theory. And then it's not going to live up to the expectations that her friends also have, or the women of her family. Because the women can be ecstatic that their friend is going to get married, but if they happen to see the ring, it's going to be like, wow, it's great that you're getting married, but what about that ring though? Like, that's not anything. Because you'll hear a lot of women be like, I wouldn't sit up there and get that for somebody that I love. Like, I would never sit up there and wear nothing like that. Like, what type of ring? Like, it'll be that whole thing, which is crazy. I'm like, everything gets diluted down to a price point. And I'm like, so is marriage actually even a marriage, or is it like what, like specifically what is it? Right. And when guys happen to ask these questions, people want to sit up there and get offended and act as if guys are just trying to specifically say that women are gold diggers. That's not what guys are saying. But again, we're trying to figure out that if you're going to devalue everything and just point it to a price point, it technically seems like that. Just saying, it technically seems like that. Right. Namor said most times people don't change from how they were when you met them. People don't understand this until it's too late. It's crazy out there. That's facts. Ty said the cost per carat varies widely based on factors like diamond quality, cut, and size, averaging anywhere from 1,500 to 12,000 per carat. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Woo! That's crazy. Because you know the funniest thing is, if you put the shoe on the other foot, right? Let's put it in a circumstance where women propose to guys, right? And by nature, I don't care if people get offended or not. By nature, women are selfish. This just is directly what it is, right? If a woman were to sit up there and propose to a guy, do you really think that she would be trying to spend an exorbitant amount of money on a guy's ring? No, not at all. It would be a simple band. It would be that simple type of thing that is going to, just be there, to just be present, because they are like, well, I'm here, I'm present. You know that I love you by way of, me telling you this and yada, 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 all the other type of good stuff, right? That's how that would play out, right? If women had to do it. On the other end, men are like, I'm not just going to, in a sense, tell you by way of, how it is that I actually love you, the things that I do. I'm actually going to show that by way of action. So you're getting two sides directly to this, right? You're getting the reinforcement, right? Every single day, you're getting the physical touches and everything like that. And on top of that, it's like, hey, I'm going to, throw money directly on this ring to let to have the whole world know that I really love you. This is how much I love you. Right. And also to hopefully convey that to the woman as well, too, because in a lot of instances, women don't really hear the words I love you, but they will see it when it deals with like a price point. Right. If you happen to buy a house, if you happen to buy a ring, if you happen to take them on a trip, if you happen to get rid of any financial debt that they have. Right. If you happen to show to them and all of these things, right? Anything that is in a sense connected to money, magically that conveys to a lot of women out here that you actually love and care about them. If you're just a guy and you're simply trying to tell a woman like, yo, babe, I love you. I love the way that you are. You're the best person, for me. You've really done a lot. You've helped me evolve, directly over time. I've become a better man because you are in my life. Women don't hear that. Women, they themselves don't hear it. They'll tell the stories to the women and their families and their friends, right? Because that'll just be something to talk about, right? Something that they can just do. But them internally, they don't really hear that. So this is why you have to put a physical thing, directly there, right? And like I said before, this is not me just saying it. Go happen to go on social media. You got everybody ranging from celebrities all the way down to your average woman flipping burgers at Burger King, saying the exact same things. Crazy work. Not more said all that money on a ring just to end up in a divorce. Yeah. And then when you end up in a divorce, you know what the women are sitting up there fighting for if it has nothing to do with the kids? They're fighting for that ring, which is crazy. They're like, oh, well, this is my ring and yada, yada, yada. We were married. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You wanted a divorce. You ain't getting no ring. It's already enough that you probably get in the house. You probably sitting up there getting a car. You're probably sitting up there taking the dog. You're going to be sitting up there getting alimony. And then on top of that, you want half of the Social Security and whatever money that the dude got coming in. Nah, he got that ring. Let him have that. You got everything else. It's crazy work out here. It's crazy. Missy said, don't spend a lot on a ring. You can always upgrade if you stay together. I mean, that is true. That is very much true. But again, you have a lot of women out here that will decide to, highly push that. They'll be like, I would really like another ring. And I feel like we've been together long enough where we love each other, enough where I can get an upgrade and yada, 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 and all that other type of good. Like, it's crazy to me. That's some diabolical work. I'm like, yo, let me put it to you like this, right? Let's say that I was in a marriage, right? And my wife got me some jewelry. And I felt like I wanted to upgrade. Do you know what I would do as a man? I would go out there and get that upgrade. Because in my mind, I already have envisioned what I want this upgrade to look like. Like, so maybe she got me something that was like, let's say she got me like a chain or something that was probably like $2,000 or something, right? And again, I never had a chain, so I'm just throwing numbers directly out there, right? So she got me a chain that was like $2,000, but I'm like, yo, this chain is like, it's nice, it's sentimental, it has the sentimental, value directly to me. But I know something that I would really upgrade. I know something that I would really want, how I would want to, really incorporate it, right? So in my mind, I would incorporate the chain with something else, with another, type of chain. I would go to like a jeweler and different things like that. And I would have it like in a set, right? So I would have the chain that she gave me, and it would be it would be an underlining set that would match, directly with it or be within it, something like that. And I would pay to sit up there and get that done because that's something that I want, right? So it's a little bit crazy to me how the whole thing, but again, that's just how I think, right? That's just me. That's just how I think. And also that was how I was raised. If you want something, then you go out there and do it yourself, right? You don't, in a sense, have the expectation of somebody else to, sit up there and do it, right? Because that would be crazy to me to sit up there and go to my wife and be like, yo, this chain is nice that you got me, but I feel like we've been together long enough and you should really, upgrade this for me. You need to spend some more money, directly on this to, make it better. I'm like, that's some cold work right there. So not only am I telling you that your gift originally was not good enough, but now I need you to do better because we've been together a little bit longer. That's crazy. That's crazy. And again, that's what I get from that when I hear that type of thing basically being stated by women. That's what I hear. It's like the original gift, that's all right. You could have did better, but you didn't. So we just roll with it. But now, right now, you can do better. So I expect you to do better. Upgrade this. Wow, that's crazy. Imagine if the Power Rangers told that to Zordon. It was like, yo, Zordon, these powers that you gave, it's like, this is cool. It came directly from you. But, you being like a wizard and an alien from another planet, we expect you to sit up there and do better. So, do that. Upgrade us real quick. We expect it. So, yo, you would have been stripped of your powers quick. They would have found some other teenagers with attitude. But, like I said, that's the world that we live in. So shout out to Miss C. Terry, much love, respect, and appreciation. She said, hey, Seji, love, peace, and prosperity. You are an amazing man, and blessings to your community. Much love, respect, and appreciation, Miss C. Terry. It's another person who has been here for the longest time possible. She also, I do want to list because every, now and again when I can remember, you can correct me if I'm wrong because I might miss out on a few things. But last time I checked on your IG, you have products up there where it deals with, I think, skincare and hair. So, if people are looking for, products dealing with skin and hair, you can happen to look up Miss Terry on IG and peruse and look through the shop that she has directly up there. So, just want to put that up there, because I got, quite a few moderators here that do things in the background, on social media and, different things like that. So I like to, highlight that when I can, when my memory is not, when my memory is in order, Ty said you go to the last part of the statement. Oh, I closed out the window. Let me tell you. Let me see. Did was it AVG that I was using? I think it was. Yeah. It should have been AVG. I gotta go back to. Was it history? Yeah. Okay, I got it. You said it was under the picture. I guess you wait. Let me see. But in all pods, I felt like I was happy with the conversation that we had. Um, that at least they were received. I was thinking moving forward, we'll be able to grow with this, but it just never evolved. It really got to a point, and so that made me think, okay, actually, maybe there's no depth at all. She also stated that there was no doubt that we had a connection, but just moving forward and having depth in our relationship, I really wasn't getting much from Ben when I asked him questions. If we were able to have that depth with him, then I think I would have changed things, maybe, but it just didn't work. They said that despite all of that, she has no regrets. Quote, and this is the crazy part. She was like, overall, I'm proud of myself. Yo, that's crazy. She was like, for me, you have to have the discussion, especially before an engagement. You have to cross over everything to make sure you have at least a foundation or overall idea of who the person is. I'm happy having those conversations, and I want to continue having them with future partners. Diabolical. And also just being open of knowing that the world is very gray and just continue to learn about that. That's crazy. That woman is a piece of work. That let me tell you that woman Sarah is a piece of work, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. See, Terry said spin facts as usual. Ty said there we go. Namor X said, "Oh man, that woman loves no one." Yeah. Sarah's bad. That woman is on something. So yeah, let me post it up there real quick. So Missy Terry stated that she has oils and everything for locks. She has beard oil, body butters, and foot scrubs as well. And it is at silkysmoothie.store. No problem. No problem. Much love, respect, and appreciation for everything that you do and for the support that you give to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Like I said, it's the least that I can do. That's and like I told you guys before, that's one thing that I've tried to do at least. I'm not even gonna say try, because that's like attempting. Those are things that I've done at least over in different live streams and in different videos, especially when I wanted to highlight, whatever it is that, you guys were specifically doing to, try to leverage the platform and to, shine a light, directly over there. Because as I stated before, without a lot of you guys supporting me, I would not be able to do what it is that I do, every single day. So, that's just in a sense my way of, giving back and to show, love, So now we are going to go to the next clip right here. And I want to just give a shout out to Texas, which is a rarity that I would actually do.
Texas, at this location, PD and myself would recommend that you have your gun on you So if anyone tries to steal off of your truck or your trailer, you shoot them.
And because this is considered
your home. Here in Texas, you are protecting your home and your belongings that go to your home. So anyone that's trying to, you know, present themselves as a threat, shoot them down.
Right on. I wish I had a gun with me. Right on. Thank you, officer.
You're so welcome.
Have a great night.
You too.
Right? So I didn't know in Texas, like, this is how they treat the truck drivers, that your truck is in a sense considered a home. And since this is your home, you're going to and from, you have the right to protect yourself and your home, aka your vehicle. I didn't know that. Shout out to Texas for doing that for the truck drivers, because I've stated before that truck driving is a very dangerous deal. You got a lot of people out here that try to mug and rob, you know, truck drivers and try to do, you know, a lot of things to them on the road. And the truck drivers should be able to protect themselves from all of the nefarious actors, the criminals directly out there, right? So, like I said, shout out to Texas. I wish that other states would, you know, also have this exact same mentality. Like I said, I don't know what's up with California. I don't know how California is moving, but I remember that I read an article where it stated that they're trying to criminalize protecting yourself if a break-in happens, because they want you to run away from the situation versus protecting your home. Right? Crazy work. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with California, but it's crazy out here. Namor X said, "Thank you, Miss C. Terry, checking it out." Miss Terry said, always, you definitely, as always, you definitely have since day one, 5 years, dearly appreciated. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Ty said, yeah, your truck is your property, right? Malek said, it's like that nationwide. It is? Like I said, I didn't know. So, you know, I was just putting that directly out there because this was the first time that, you know, I've heard of it. So, you know, shout out to Malek for, you know, letting me know that. Rabbit said, I have a feeling that this is going to be exploited by racists real quick. I fear for my life, right? That's true. I see that one. I can see it. So now we're going to roll to the very next video here. Let me put that directly up. So hold on, let me just preface this, right? So in a previous live streaming video, I set up there and told you guys before that parents need to actually parent their kids. And this is one of the main videos, a great example. And again, this is not fake. This is a real video. And these young dudes were very lucky that they happened upon the two black men that caught them. Because if it was any of these other guys out here, they would have caught a body real quick. So let's get into it.
I'm not playing with you. Down there going on. We just trying to meet. No, I don't give a. No, stand right here with my.
You the same age. I don't give a fuck. You the same age.
Bro, hell no, y'all it's man.
Y'all could just call the police, bro. They don't just call the police, bro. Please don't. I ain't no way y'all really gonna snitch on that like that. Y'all was saying y'all was just like us, bro. Y'all was just like us.
No, stand right there, like I said. Get off that man's car. Get off that man's car, bro. Give him the gun. This he's
really
just
gonna
tried
shoot
to rob a house, twin.
You really gonna rob a house?
You just tried to go to you just went to the neighbor's car first, man. Then you just went to this. All right, bro, don't tell me what the fuck you gonna shoot me over trying to bro, don't tell me what the fuck I said, bro. I'm gonna go and get, bro.
You got it, bro. I'm a young nigga, bro. You got it.
Bro, stop saying you a young, bro. Stop saying this. This is not sweet, bro.
Show, bro. I ain't know.
Now, what if I would have just busted up for coming right here? Because I told my boy to pull the gun out on your leg, bro. What you would have did, bro? Bro, y'all wildin'. You would have been stupid. Your mama would have been crying, bro. Stop playing, bro. This is real, bro. You would have been a free mother body, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's not sweet, bro. And I had my son in there, bro. It ain't my fault, bro. I was about to pop your ass, boy. Y'all ain't gonna do this again. Twin, stop doing it, period, bro.
I need some money, bro.
Twin, get a job, twin.
I'm 13, how I'm gonna get a job?
13, but you gonna be in jail, twin?
Bro, who caught this shit? Y'all 13, who caught this shit?
I was about to pop your ass. My mama, bro.
Twin, who caught this shit? What the fuck? Y'all 13, who caught this shit?
Y'all tripping, bro.
Bro, this is stolen. Y'all brought this over here, twin.
Twin, I was about to shoot y'all.
Bro, shoot the fuck out your, bro. Fuck out your P. Like, no cap.
And I put this on my son that's in the, on that couch right about the kid. You.
So, I had to do a lot of editing because there was, quite a few words directly in there. But the young men that were in the row, they were 13. And the 13-year-old, and then you have to also try to figure out, since there was a car directly there, that means that they have that car. They're driving a car. Whose car is that? I can't tell you. I don't know if it's the parents' car, if they stole that car, right? But they were on the move and trying to, get to another vehicle or potentially get into somebody's house. And again, these are all instances of which they could have very easily potentially lost their life. And the young man was like, yo, I'm 13. It's like, I need money. Bro, you should be in the house. I don't even know what time it was at night. More than likely, he should have just been in the house playing 2K. He should have been in the house playing Fortnite or something. You out here at night, dark 30, and you sitting up there rolling around, whipping around in somebody's car, trying to sit up there and steal another car because you quote unquote need money. Who are you working for? That's the other question that needs to be answered, because if you want to be stealing somebody's car, that means you about to take it somewhere so that they can either chop it up or do whatever. So what grown man are you sitting up there working for that's going to hand you a few $100s because you quote unquote broke? Bro, you 13. You ain't paying no bills. You don't know nothing about no type of stress. I like I said, I don't understand how a 13-year-old can even speak. It's great that you know how to spell. I don't understand how you can utter the words "I'm broke." Bro, you barely got a life. And you talking about you broke. You talking about how am I going to sit up there and get a job? Start cutting grass. That's what I did. I was cutting grass, shoveling snow, raking leaves, something. You going out here deciding that you want to start stealing. You want to start crime early. You want to live Grand Theft Auto in real life, and you nearly just lost your life. And those other dudes that was there, those were hood dudes. Those are what people would, in a sense, consider OGs. In any other respective area, those young dudes would have been done. They would have just got sprayed down. And nobody would have been asking no questions. And then we would have heard about them on, the 6, 7 o'clock news somewhere. I probably would have had the story posted. Like, it's crazy out here, man. This is why I keep trying to tell people, like, for the parents out there, you need to be parents to your kids. This is going back to that other story where I showed y'all where the mom in Chicago, it's probably like 2 or 3 years ago. A mom in Chicago was trying to say that her son was a good son. He was the man of the house. That's some crazy work. That is diabolical. As a woman to sit up there and say that your son is the man of the house. 13 years old. 13 years old, man of the house. And that little boy was out there ripping and running through the streets, doing stuff that he ain't got no business doing. And the neighbor sat up there and fired a couple of shots. Bow, bow. Hit him up with the Alec Baldwin. And that was it. That was it. But you're going to sit up there and try to get on the news and try to portray your son as being a good son. If you out here ripping and running through the streets, it ain't nothing good about that. Good kids are just minding their business. They asleep at home. They might be like, sneaking to play the game or something or fixing some food. They're at home. They're homebodies. Or they're hanging around friends that are like-minded. I'm talking about just doing average, normal kid stuff. They're not out here ripping and running. At 13, I wasn't thinking about sitting. And again, somebody that is coming from a single-parent household, coming from Detroit, I was never thinking about robbing a car. I was never thinking about, I'm broke. I need to go make some money. So let me go sell some drugs on the corner. Let me go talk to the guys out there. Let me go start ripping and running through the streets. Let me go run up, with the gang and get jumped in real. I wasn't thinking about none of this. None of this. And like I said, I'm quote unquote a statistic, single parent household, all this other type of stuff. That's crazy. That's some crazy work. Like I said, parents, y'all need to be parents, man. Like those 13-year-olds would have lost their life that day. If this was any other men directly out here, they would have been done. They just would have been laid out on the street. And then you would have heard all of the women in the family coming out like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this to my nephew, my son, my brother. My grandchild, he was a great kid. He didn't mess with nobody. That's a story that you hear all the time. Whenever it's instances like this where these kids are ripping and running through the streets, you got the women of the family primarily coming out and saying this. You don't see the men in the family sitting up there saying it because they know who those young men were. They knew how it is that they move, how it is that they acted, because more than likely at a point in time, they tried to sit up there and tell them something. But a lot of young dudes out here don't want to listen. They hard-headed. They think that they know everything. They think that they know and they seen everything and they just got these experiences that it ain't nobody else really have and da 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 da. They really want to hold down that corner. And they really want to try to showcase and prove to people that they grown, but yet you living at home with your family, with your parents, with your folks. You ain't paying nothing. You're strictly dependent. But to prove that you're independent while being dependent, you want to go out here and rip and run. It's crazy. It's crazy. That is diabolical. Rabbit said at 13, wow, he should be at home. Well, I ain't that first part, that was crazy. Let me I know what you're saying, but that's crazy. I ain't gonna go that far, but watching Ben 10, I agree. Watching Ben 10, yeah. Watching Ben 10. Jamal said facts. Namo X said, I'm glad I avoided most drill music growing up. It made all the difference. Oh yeah. That's why I would also done live streams and videos talking about a lot of this music out here and how it brainwashes the culture, how it can brainwash groups. But when you try to explain this to, the younger generation out here, they're not seeing it. They're just oblivious to it. They're like, it's whatever, it's just music, right? Even at the point in time of me growing up being in high school, I sat up there and knew that certain music is like, I'm pretty much going to stay away from it, right? Or if I did listen to it, I wasn't going to take it as if it is an actual reality, right? As if it's something that is living right now with me that I have to go out there and experience or make happen. Like I said, I could differentiate from fantasy and reality. A lot of the other generations out here, they can't do that. They just think that everything is everything and it's whatever. But then you'll end up seeing some of them now, and they sitting up there strung out on drugs, right? They sitting up there ripping and running through the streets, alcohol, all this other type of stuff. Crazy work. But like I said, you learn that by way of the media that you just so happen to take in. You absorb all of that, and it starts to fill in the gaps of the fibers of your being. And there you have it. But like I said before, you can't tell nobody nothing because people don't want to listen. People want to learn the hard way. So a lot of younger generation are going to end up inevitably, if they happen to make it to 30, they're going to inevitably find this out by the time they're 30, and they're going to be looking back at their 20s and their teenage years. They're like, yo, man, I was messing up. I was doing this. I was doing that, all this other type of stuff. And like I said before, it's good to have that realization, but it's technically a little bit too late, especially when you are now making it to 30 and you done already procreated and you got kids that you got to sit up there and raise and teach. I'm like, bro, you really still ain't even get yourself straight. But yeah, you didn't brought kids into this world. And now those kids are going to react and do the exact same things that you did. And then you're not going to be able to really tell them nothing because they're going to be like, well, mom, I can look at you on TikTok. I can look at you on Twitter and social media. You were sitting up there shaking and doing whatnot, whatever for all of these guys. How can you tell me what not to do when this is what it was that you were doing? And I can see it. Like I said before, a lot of this generation don't understand that the stuff that y'all put out here on social media is going to be used against you. It's the same thing that the police will sit up there and tell you and the courts will tell you. Anything that you say or do will be used against you in a court of law. If you are young at this moment in time and you decide to have a kid or kids, your kids are going to do the exact same thing. They can look at you right now on social media, just ripping and running, doing alcohol at a young age, taking in drugs at a young age, just jumping from body to body to body, just being completely reckless. So now when they're growing up and they decide that they want to dibble and dabble, they're gonna be like, you can't be my mom. You can't tell me nothing because I have all of your profiles from social media of everything that you did. How can you ever tell me what not to do? And you got to eat that. You're going to have to sit up there, all the young people out here, you're going to have to eat that 100% because there's nothing that you can say against it. It's nothing. Like I said, this is a whole different age from being in the 2000s, the early 2000s when the internet wasn't the internet. It's a little bit different because whatever people were doing, earlier on, Social media wasn't where it was. Everybody was not being, just ignorantly stupid and just posting everything. Now it's a whole different thing because everything is a vibe. Everything is a movie, right? Everybody wants to, show off to the Johns and the Joneses and the Stevens and the Karens directly out here. They want to have a platform. They want to be their own mini celebrity and all this other. Like I said, it's a whole bunch of clout. Two things that happens when you start having a whole bunch of clouds in the sky, right? Number one, it's going to block out the sun. Number two, it's going to be cold. Number three, it may be winter. Number four, it just may be just drastically windy. Or the worst case scenario, there's a very bad storm coming. And 9 times out of 10, it usually ends up being the last one where it's going to be a bad storm coming. So there we go. It's crazy out here. Namor said music needs to be treated seriously. That's facts. See, Terry said exactly. And why would his mother tell him some crazy crap like that? It's her fault. Yeah. Jamal said entertainment. Yep. It's facts. So now we are going to go to the next video, and it's going to be a how did we get here moment, right? Because this is a video that I showcased to you guys before, where it dealt with a young woman who decided that she's 18 years old. She runs her own hair salon. She makes money and everything like that. And there was a 15-year-old that was there to get her hair done. There's a story that I covered probably about like almost close to a week ago. And what inevitably ended up happening was that the 15-year-old supposedly didn't pay, right? So the 18-year-old basically dragged her, back and kept her there up until she, got the money. But let's go to the news clip first.
Forget tried. She ran without paying me.
So this is the 18-year-old.
And then what did you do?
I dragged her by her hood back into the salon until I can get paid, or, until the police come, or until, she let me take out the service. Because it's like she literally ran outside like she was about to be gone. I feel like if I didn't do that, she would have been gone and I would have just never been paid.
But the 15-year-old's mother says Jayla also dragged her by her hair when she grabbed her hood, and says that her daughter accidentally sent the money to the wrong Cash App and was trying to pay Jayla.
It's just absolutely absurd. It's viral. It's all over the country.
And how is she dealing emotionally with this?
Emotionally, not good. Not good at all.
The family has hired the Jackson & Associates law firm to represent the 15-year-old in a civil lawsuit.
The video is horrendous. It's a 15-year-old girl. We're talking about someone's child here, a child who is being dragged across a salon floor by her jacket for over something as simple as a mistake.
And Jayla Cunningham says that she had no clue that she was charged. We brought it to her attention tonight. She says she heard it for the first time, and that she has received death threats as a result of the viral video, so she has moved her hair salon to another location. She has a first court appearance, a summons, on April 18th. As for the 15-year-old, well, her parents say she will undergo counseling.
Right? So again, this is the 18-year-old. So you got an 18-year-old that has a business doing hair, and a 15-year-old was there. So what do we got, class? That's about what, 3-year difference, right? 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, it's about a 3-year difference. So basically, technically, for all intents and purposes, both of them are in high school. Both of them are in high school, right? And the craziest thing about this is that the way that the 15-year-old was treated, right? And they stated in the story that it was a mistake, that the money got sent because the brother ended up getting in contact with everything, and he sent the money, but ended up sending it to the wrong Cash App or whatnot or whatever, right? So again, it was a whole mishap that transpired and took place. So the 18-year-old was like, I'm not about to let you go. Because the main thing that she kept saying is that, she was trying to run. She was trying to run. She was running out. She was running out, right? So why is it that when we look at the footage, and I saw the original footage, or at least what was put out, and the only thing that I happen to see is her dragging, her first talking to the 15-year-old, right, in the back room, and then the other one, you got the video where she's dragging her across the floor. Why did you not put out the video where you say that she was running like she was Usain Bolt? She was just running out of there, really trying to, get over on you. Why didn't you post that video? Like, I'm a little bit confused. Like, you literally have video cameras in your shop, obviously. So if you wanted to prove your point, the first clip that you should have ever posted was her literally running out of the shop after her hair was done, which would then mean that she didn't, for all intents and purposes, she was not trying to pay you. It would prove that point, and nobody would be trying to quote unquote vilify you and do all of this stuff. But you never posted that. The main video that we got is you dragging her across the floor, you specifically talking to her and all of this stuff. Crazy work directly out here. And then you got a lot of the ratchets directly out here talking about, oh yeah, she stood 10 toes down, she did that, all this other. And these are grown women advocating for this senselessness to sit up there and take place amongst these two girls for all intents and purposes. Like, realistically, these are girls because they're high school age. These are girls. That's crazy. Like I said, I'm like, yo, where are the actual grown women on social? Where are the responsible grown women on social media that don't advocate for ignorance? Because that's all this is. That's not how you run or conduct a business. You don't decide that you want to sit up there and drag somebody by their hair across. Like, you do realize that that can be considered assault, that you're attempting to hold somebody against their will. Like, you're not supposed to do that at all. You're not supposed to lay hands. The most that you are supposed to sit up there and do is get the evidence, get the video, call the police, make a record, and all of those things. You're not supposed to put hands. But yet this is what she decided to do. And you got older women who are older than this 18-year-old that are advocating for this nonsense on social media. It's crazy work out here. It's crazy work. But now I'm going to sit up there and show you why it's very difficult to, in a sense, side with the 18-year-old, and why it is that it's, a lot of young people don't understand talking less is better than talking more and trying to show your backside on social media. So let's go to the next clip.
And she telling me she want to fight. I can't believe this shit. I hear me saying I don't want to go forward. Y'all see her hair. I cut it out as much as I can. She can't go nowhere with that, so I don't care.
Okay, here you go.
I don't want to file no charges. She got that.
You can take this to thought if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. She got that. Y'all broke, that's okay. My other client right there. I'm about to make double that. You was supposed to pay me $150, her remaining $250. It's nothing to no broke. Y'all broke, and that's okay.
All right, here you go.
Right. So when I told you before that the Ratchets Online decided that they wanted to agree with this 18-year-old, this is why. You can clearly see by her demeanor, by the way that she is speaking, and I'm not trying to really hear the excuses like, oh, well, she's young. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that. She's running a business. That's what grown folks do. Grown people, adults, they run businesses, and they act and carry themselves a certain type of way. So not only are the field of police directly there because, in a sense, an assault took place by way of you being the older person there because you're 18 and she's 15, you also have a client there. And then on top of that, you want to talk to the previous client who was like, oh, y'all broke. This ain't nothing to me. I'm always going to sit up there and make money and da-da-da and all this other. I don't, like I said before, the women that decide to associate with individuals like this, I don't know what to sit up there and tell you. The only thing I will tell you is that birds of a feather flock together. That's the best way I can sit up there and tell you, because that's some crazy work. Because I promise you 100%, let her at a moment in time, right, have a daughter. I'm trying to go back to her face, right? Let any moment in time she ends up growing up, she has a daughter. Let anybody put hands on her daughter like she did. I promise you, she won't be acting the same. She won't be sitting up there saying, well, you deserve it and da. She ain't gonna be doing that. She gonna pull up. She gonna get the gang of her other ratchet friends to pull up too, and they're gonna sit up there and jump that woman or jump them girls. That's what's gonna happen. Because trust me, I know, because I got tons of videos in the back on hard drive showcasing fights just like this, where people have disagreements and all this other type of stuff, and kids are involved. And like I said, it's crazy. And like I said, you, in a sense, don't want to quote unquote press charges, I'm like, that's a little bit weird. Because I'm like, I guess she's trying to say that she's going to call it even because she didn't cut some of the hair directly out. But you said that she basically was trying to run off. She stole from you, right? So that means that you would want to press charges. But that means also you can't press charges because you're the one that put hands on her. She didn't put hands on you. Because you know that if you press charges, it's going to be retaliatory. And they have enough proof to basically show something, which she doesn't. So if it goes to court, guess what? It's going to be looking real bad for her. And because she is older, she's 18, which in a lot of instances would be considered a type of adult. Guess what? She's going to be facing some real serious time. She's going to potentially have a record. And she ain't trying to do that. Like I said, if it was actually really about that money, she would have pressed those charges. And, she would have made sure some things would have happened so that, she can quote unquote get that money. But that's not what she wanted to do. Namor said that stylist is in a word of hurt. Learn the laws/business practices before you open up a business. Rabbit said clip and dash, women/girls really out here doing this. I mean, I got videos of girls sitting up there running out on stylists or running out on people when they've bought, some bundles and stuff. Like I said, I just showed y'all a video before where it was a husband and a wife who were selling hair. And there was this older black woman, I say she was probably like 20 or 30, right? The husband and wife were selling like the hair whatnot directly out of the car. And the girl came up there and she liked what she saw and she didn't intend on paying. And she pulled out a gun. And you can only guess what happened. You can only guess what happened. So like I said, this ain't nothing new. I've covered stories similar to this or worse. And the actions of the women have 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10 been horrendously negative. It would be something that you would, in a sense, expect of quote unquote the men out here, right? Because men are criminal minded. We're the only ones that carry guns and commit crimes and do all of this stuff, right? But yet you got women out here doing it. But again, nobody wants to highlight or talk about those things, even when it details a loss of life, senseless loss of life. It's crazy work. Namor X said, I appreciate her for working for herself. I still support her, but she needs business education. Hey, I'll put it to you like this. Shout out to you for, the support that you would give. I would just say that there's a lot of instances of which when you have people like this, they tend to draw the wrong people around them into their business. So I'm not sure if it would be safe for you, right? Because that would be, I've gotten scenarios, I got videos up here where women run salons and they will call a previous customer. I think I showcased that video before. It was a previous customer that came up there. Somebody was either talking on social media or online or something, and they asked the girl to basically come back in under the pretense of like maybe they needed like their hair fixed or whatnot or whatever. And then they proceeded to close the door of that salon and jump that girl. And I'm talking about several people jumping, dragging her, kicking, punching, pulling out the braids and everything, all the way out until she's in the street. So, like I said, and again, I try to put these things directly out there so that, people are a little bit safer and, and happen to think about some things. Because it's the same way that my mom set up there and raised me. It's like, if you know that there's some people that you would not hang out around, you just don't hang out around them, because those type of people will bring unnecessary energy that don't need to be there, and all chaos will basically break loose. And like I said, her main thing that she wanted to do, she wanted to record and go directly on social media. That's crazy work. That's like, this is, and then she's laughing about, I'm like, this is not a funny situation. Like, this could have, if that little girl's family was a different caliber of people, she wouldn't have no shop. There would be no moving. There would be no reopening. It would just be a done deal. That's it. That just would be it. But like I said before, a lot of people need to thank their lucky stars that other people out here are just different, because I didn't seen too many videos, and I have too many videos of instances like this where women will just roll up and just don't care and just you know, things happen. That's the best way I can put it. Things happen, right? But like I said, it's crazy. Diabolical work. But again, you can address these situations, you can bring these up, and a lot of people don't want to talk, a lot of people don't want to care, they just want to sweep it directly under the rug. So now let's go to the next video.
What are we doing? Why you guys following so closely like that? What's up?
I wasn't following close.
Yeah, man, you almost rear-ended me.
All right, I got it on dash cam when you pressed your brakes, and then that's when I got close to you.
All right, I'm not here to argue with you, but you almost rear-ended me.
I didn't. Hey, they almost crashed. You need to go check on them. Like, I'm fine.
That's fine.
All right, like, what's up?
Figure out you would almost rear-ended me.
I didn't almost rear-end
You
you.
want to pull up your dash cam?
I can pull it up.
Okay. What's the speeding? What you guys speeding to?
Huh?
What y'all speeding to?
Speeding?
Yeah.
I wasn't speeding. That displays my speed as well.
Okay. You want to pull that up?
I like court battles.
You like court battles?
Yeah, I love court. I got good money for a lawyer.
Hey, I ain't tripping, man.
All right, so.
All right? You're following too closely. Be careful with that.
All right, I got you.
What's up with the extended mag you got in the back seat?
Hey, you see this? Hold on, let me.
You got a gun?
I got several guns, if you asking. But hey, you ain't got to worry about what's in my back seat. I'm leaving.
All right.
All right.
Man.
All right. Hey, take care. All right. Have a good one. Appreciate you.
Right? So we saw that, right? So the cop right there, and it sort of sounded like that cop had a little bit of accent though, but that cop decided, he wanted to try to have an issue or cause a problem. And the young man was just like, he just bust out laughing. He was like, man, here we go. It's about to actually sit up there and happen. And like he said before, he got a dash cam. He got everything recorded. So this is something that I've been saying for several years, where I told people to make sure I have a front and a back dash cam so that everything can be recorded. So if and when needed, when you have to go to court, because a lot of these cops out here, they'll lie. They'll make up some stories. Because the main thing that the cop was saying, just to cause a problem, he was like, man, you were following a little close. You almost ran into me. You almost crashed into me. Trying to make it seem as though that this dude almost really took his life. Like he was going 1,000 miles per hour, light speed rescue, right? Shout out to the Power Rangers. And was about to just, slice the car in half, right? And the dude was like, I wasn't. I wasn't following too close. The only way that happened was when you decided to pump the brakes for no reason. And that's technically when I got a little bit closer because I as well had to stop. Right. So like I said, this is how these cops like to try to cause problems and then act as though that they're doing their job when realistically they didn't have anything to do to begin with. They were just trying to cause something. So then he was like, do you want to pull up the dash cam, yada, 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 thinking that it was a gotcha moment. He was like, I could pull up the dash cam if you want me to, right? And then he went further. He was like, well, what speed were you going at? He was like, well, the dash cam, it records, that too. And then the cop kind of, got quiet. He was like, actually, I like court. I like court battles. I'm trying to, actually go to court. So if you want to do that so I can get some quick money up off you, we can do that because I got the money for a lawyer to support that. And dude was like, no, I ain't tripping. No. You just literally, you walking up with your pen and your pad and you're looking like that you were about to try to write some type of ticket or whatnot or whatever, so that the dude would have to, pay something or go to court. He's saying that he's willing to go to court. So do it. Call his bluff so that you will sit up there and have to show up to court. But a lot of the times these cops don't like showing up to court. They'll just have a representative because that's normally how this works. Because I've covered these things, before. And they know that they don't have nothing to worry about because it's going to come from the taxpayers at the end of the day. That's why a lot of these cops don't care about court, because they know it's not coming out of their pocket. Because if everything was coming out of their pocket, then they would act and talk to people a little bit differently. But because it's coming from our court, not our court, out of our pockets, they're like, that's whatever. Like he said before, I ain't tripping. That's crazy for a cop to say when you just try to make it seem like you were inferior your life. Diabolical work. And then he decided to switch it up. He was like, all right, man, just be on the lookout for that. But then he just couldn't let it go. He was like, I spotted something else. Like, yo, what's up with that extended mag in the back? What you up to, black man? He was like, oh, you talking about that? Yo, matter of fact, let me sit up there and show you something real quick. He was like, I got several guns if you sit up there asking. And on top of that, you don't even need to worry because look at this. I got a license. He couldn't say nothing. Everything checked out. And plus, he wasn't trying to go to court. So he promptly sat up there and just let the dude off scot-free. Like I said, this is how this works in this society when it deals with black men. And again, this is a young black guy. This is a young black guy who has to sit up there and deal with cops. And the cop was the one that really started the whole thing, really caused the issue. Crazy work directly out here. But like I told people before, no matter how many times you show instances or videos like this, people never want to pay attention unless it's them in the seat, unless it's reaching their front door or somebody that they know or their kids and their family and so on and so on and so on. But like I said, this is this is the society. This is where we are at this moment in time, right? So let me see if I have the other video. This one is more so dealing with a bit of racism, and it is going to prove
job,
the fact
right? And I guess
of what black men in the society in America have to go through, right? He said a white lady couldn't wait until Trump removed the Equal Opportunity Employment Act. Laughing out loud, right? So let's just take a look, and I want y'all to pay attention to the other women in the background, right? Pay attention to those women in the background, make notice, and also while you make notice of those women in the background, pay attention to the secondary female voice that shows up later towards the tail end of the video.
I'm here on a job, right? And I guess this lady right here says I smell like marijuana, but I don't even smoke. I literally just took a drug test. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly is her purpose of telling me to step outside.
I said, sir, you smell of smoke. Can you please step outside?
I don't smoke. Okay. I'm actually an athlete. So, right, I'm here for a company, mind you, a job that I'm working. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly is your basis of. Right. Now you got nothing to say, apparently.
Well, you're recording me on social media, and I'm gonna ask you not to.
Well, that's my right. That's you know what I mean. I have the right to do that. Okay. I didn't attack you, nothing like that. But
I didn't say you did. I
right.
just said I smell you. I smell.
I don't
smoke.
I said that 3 times.
And I said, could you please step outside?
Why would I have to step outside if I don't smoke?
You refuse to step outside.
Why would I have to step outside if I don't smoke?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Why would I have to step outside if I don't smoke?
I said, I see you smell of marijuana. Could you please step
I don't
outside?
smoke.
Are you okay?
I don't smoke. So it's like some underlying like racism or something? I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
I don't think that was the issue.
So what's the issue?
I just said you smell of smoke. Could you please step outside?
That's your opinion. I'm here for a job to work for a company. You're sorry to break down to you, but you're a manager. So you telling me to leave because I smell like smoke is not. What basis is that for me to not?
Please step outside.
You keep saying, "Can I please step outside?" This is literally interfering with
I understand
what I'm doing.
But I don't have record of you needing to be here either. So I'm asking you, please step outside.
So we all heard that, right? Right. So I wanna see if I can happen to. I might have to play it a little bit so I can get that real quick, right? So you see the other woman there, right? And there was another woman. See if I can. That worked there. I can't get her. Right there. Right, not the woman in the gray. Right? Because I told y'all to pay very close attention to the voices, right? And I can distinctly hear the voices of the white women, right? But the one person that you never got a chance to hear is the woman in the background, right? That's near the white door, not the woman that's in the gray hoodie dressed in like everyday clothes. I'm talking about the other woman to the left side of the screen. You never got a chance to hear her voice, correct? So then after the white woman asked him repeatedly and he obliged, he walked directly outside, wasn't, really putting up, much of a battle directly with that. He stepped outside to continue the conversation. And she just kept repeatedly saying this, you smell like weed, you smell like weed, you smell like weed, you smell like weed, you smell. She couldn't say nothing else. So then here comes the quote unquote, I guess you could say gaslighting situation, where what I believe to be the woman to the left side of the screen comes out of the door. Are you okay? What the, you know, there's a lot of words that in a lot of instances when it deals with videos like this that I would like to use, but I try to refrain from using. I'm trying to be a better person, because why would you, as the woman that you are, seeing the fact that a black man is going directly through this, dealing with a white woman, making these accusations, right? Because I didn't really hear nobody else in there talking about he smelled like weed. It was just her, right? And she's supposedly the manager. Why would you bring your tail directly outside and sit up there and ask the white woman, "Are you okay? Are you serious? you gotta be kidding me right now." This when I man, yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is 100% crazy. But like I said, it's to be expected. It is to be expected. I just do not understand how, as the woman that you are, could decide to, in a sense, side with the same women historically that have lied, that have inevitably led to the downfall of hundreds of black communities around the United States, towns and cities. You're siding with the lineage of that. Like I said, the manager didn't have nothing else. She didn't say that he was being rude, that he was being aggressive, he's being combative, she's in fear of his life, he's acting belligerent, he's doing this. The dude was as calm as could be, stern voice, but as calm as could be, having the conversation. And the only thing that you kept saying was that he smelled like weed. That's crazy. That is 100% some crazy type of work directly out here. How that even takes place. Like I said, to me, I don't know what else to sit up there and tell people. I do not know what else to tell people, but that also brings me to the next part, because just like how you saw that woman, or was able to quote unquote hear that woman side with the Caucasian, the Caucanite, you have people online that did the exact same thing, right? So let me just bring that directly to you guys, right? So let me just post that directly up here so you guys can see it. Let me just minimize that just a little bit, bring that into the sites, right? So let me just make sure that's good for you guys, that you're able to see it. Let me just zoom that out. Okay, so these are some of the comments that I was able to gather online, right? The top one said, "That Negro most definitely smoked some weed or vape before he entered the building. I have never, as a black man, whatever on that one. I have never, as a black man, been discriminated against and told to leave a business because I reeked of weed. Negroes be lying. He may even have worn that hoodie the last time he smoked and didn't realize it smelt of weed because his senses of smell is numb to the odor." I'm just going to be honest. I feel like whenever, and I did look at this dude's profile and everything, I feel that whenever I see a black guy talk like this, you automatically have a white woman or a significant other that's non-black, or it might be the whole reverse. Like I said, this is crazy. Like, this is 100% crazy. And then you're going to try to throw yourself in there as if your experience dwarfs anybody else's experience. That's like some of these black dudes who only know white guys are like, "Huh, yo, bro, I've never as a black person living around white people, I've never, seen or faced any type of, racism. I don't know what you guys use a race card for. I don't see the racism. I don't even go through that at all. Like, you guys are just victims, right? That's how they like to sit up there and talk. You see this time and time again, especially when it deals with the hyper conservative black folks who are Republican, and they want to sit up there and say that race and everything like that does not exist, and that's just the left trying to be victims and all this other type of stuff and yada 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 and whatnot or whatever. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. The next one at the bottom said, I don't see any racism here, but then again, some black people use the race card so much, it's worthless now. Next one after that said, not only that, you don't have to smoke to smell like marijuana. He's just giving her a hard time. And that was a woman that said that. I just want you to know that was a melanated woman that sat up there and said that. I looked at her page and everything. And I'm like, he's giving her a hard time. Are you stupid? Or like you have to be stupid. But like I said, this is the society that we're living in, where you have these people that will pull up online and they'll just automatically side with the other demographic, not taking into account that, hey, well, it's just possible that this white woman just did not want him here at all because he is black, right? Very easily. Like I said, I've showcased things like this before, even when it came to the effect of black people trying to cash checks in banks. Do you know what a lot of those banks just so have happened like to do? They wanted to call the cops. So going back, if anybody wants to do their research on that, go back and look at a video during the pandemic of Ryan Coogler going to the bank. And this was back when he was working on Black Panther. He was going there to cash a check. Maybe it was about like 5 or 10 grand. Right. And they called the police because they thought that it was fraudulent activity. Right. And while he was in handcuffs being escorted out, there was a black woman at the bank at the side that whispered, "Good job, officers." You can't make, like, yo, it's crazy work out here. Crazy work. And this is in a sense the exact same thing. The only difference is the police weren't called. That was the only difference between both of those videos. The police just weren't called here. But like I said, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. But people want to try to make it seem like black men, just make up things. We don't really go through nothing and yada, 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 all that type of good stuff, right? Another person said she wasn't playing his game. Not sure how it's racist. Maybe don't smell like weed. But how would you know what he smells like just because the white woman said it? It has to be true because what? She's God. She's Mary. She's the one that gave the virgin birth to Jesus. Is that what we're really doing at this moment in time? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, we don't have smell-o-vision. We do not have smell-o-vision. So for them to go off of the assumption that they know for a fact because she's white and said so that he smells like weed is that's crazy. Again, this is how cities, towns, and everything else that black people are part of were burned down. This is how those things were decimated because people like this would just side by and agree with the white woman because she said it. Crazy. Another person said, more like racist black guy trying to intimidate women because he can't follow the rules. What rules? Firstly, there's a multitude of times that people have walked into establishments and they could have maybe reeked of weed. That's not a part of the rules there. It's not a part of the rules, right? Maybe they might have something dealing with fashion, right? Maybe they might have something dealing with shoes. Maybe they might have something dealing with the homeless. But I don't remember anything, in a sense, really dealing with the smell of marijuana. Just saying. Just saying, because there are fields of schools directly out here, and some parents smoke. They be really chiefing up, right? Having a powwow, passing a peace pipe, right? And they come to school and they'll pick up their kids. Right? So again, I'm a little bit confused directly on this, but again, like I said, it is what it is. This is how people want to act. They want to side and go right behind a white woman and believe that, hey, whatever she said about a black man has to be true. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Man, oh man. And then to sit up there and say that he's trying to intimidate her, where? What are you saying because he's taller than her? Like what are we doing here? Like you're really trying to paint this woman as if she's like 3'4" and this dude is like a Herculean size dude that's really trying to use his size and stature to intimidate this lonely white woman doing her job. This is crazy work. Like I said, this is how they decide that they want to try to portray black men so that they can commit and do the inevitable when it is that they just so happen to see said black men out here in society. This is how they set this stuff up. This is how they set up these narratives. And as people have stated, the most dangerous place for a black person to be is in a white person's mind. And that's facts. That is 100% facts. Like I said, history has proven me right. I don't even have to, just realistically say it. Right? Now one said I personally can't take Twitter too seriously. No, I get that, but it allows you the insight into how other people think. Like that's the main thing I try to tell people about social media. Because the other thing is I get that a lot of people might not take it serious, but also note that you got hundreds of millions of people on social media every day, if not billions of people on social media every single day. And even though some people might not specifically post something underneath a comment, they will decide to heart that comment and like it. So you got a lot of people out here that might not openly say that they are racist or their racist points of view, but they'll make sure to sit up there and like a comment when it deals with talking about black people in a racist type of way. Like I said, I see it all the time being on social media. I see it all the time. The one thing that's different is when you go on IG and people happen to do it, you can actually click on the likes and see who liked it. So you got a field of people's like, oh, y'all like this racist video? Which y'all got like 12K, 12.5K that actually like this? Let me go through these profiles and see who this is. Oh, y'all got kids? Look at that. Your kids know you racist? Like that's how I be thinking in my mind. But like I said, that's just me, right? See, Terry said, yeah, that definitely has to do with racism, and it's always the strawberry cheesecake swirling wrinkly Karens and scared kunuts that will not speak up. I would have been fired that day. Tether / Massa. Yep. Namor X said, there's a high percentage of Twitter accounts that are bots. Government loves social engineering. No. Like I said, you two things can be right at the same time, right? But this is the other thing too. I've been doing this for quite some time before we started really having the huge drive on AI and bot accounts and all of this other type of stuff, right? Back before everybody knew anything about heavily into computers and stuff, when it was just basic everyday people going on there tweeting and just giving just their heartfelt reaction to no matter what it was or their first thoughts, right? But even to take it to another extent away from Twitter, you can go directly to the vocalized point of going to YouTube or to going to TikTok, where you have these same people who like these tweets or who associate themselves with these tweets. They'll decide that they want to make a video or a post there, vocalizing how it is that it is, right? But again, some people may say that that's AI or whatnot, whatever. Cool, fine, no problem. So then you take it a step further and you can go to the older sites that are still up and running, where you have a lot of these same people. They are in their racist echo chambers, with a lot of their community, where they share a lot of gifts, they share a lot of images, and they have these open conversations about black people, the black community in the most racist of ways, right? And a lot of these websites are still up to this day, and some of them have the most racist, ridiculous names that you would ever see. And I can promise you that is not AI driven, that is not bot driven. I can promise you that. Like some of those people, it look like they're from the .com era. That's how old the website looks, right? It's crazy work. But yeah, like I said, two things can be right directly at the same time. So again, I'm not saying Namorex, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Trust me, I ain't saying that you're wrong because I've seen bot accounts and everything like that, right? Dammer said, I personally can't take. Yo, Jugs, what is up? What's up? Jugs, gotcha. If you don't know where that's from, you might want to look up my way parody of a video called I'm the Juggernaut. It was a classic video. I remember this back from like 2006. It's the whole reason why X-Men Last Stand actually had that joke within the movie, because they got that from my way parody. Classic. I'm the Juggernaut. I got a with me. Yeah. Yeah, Charles. You're messing with my helmet. Yo, I might have to watch that after the stream. It's class. So if you've never seen it, you gotta look up my way parody. I'm the Juggernaut on YouTube. It's funny. If you don't laugh, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Let me see. Jug said just a troll acting like they're black online. Yep. Terry said, how does she know what weed smells like? That's true. See, Terry said the delusion is crazy, shaking my head, so sickening. Jug said, imagine if that was a legalized state and Karen was talking smack. Not saying he had nothing, but these Karens stereotype and get out of control. Matter of fact, Jugs, I'm glad you stated that, right? Anybody can just so happen to look this up as well. There was a point in time where Zendaya had her hair done. She might have had like some locks or whatever it was, right? And one of the white commentators or whoever it was that was supposed to be the fashion police went out of their way to sit up there and say that, she probably smells like weed. Now, why would you say, and Zendaya is biracial, correct? But why, because she decided to have locks, would you associate that with weed? Because you wouldn't normally do that with a white woman who would just so happen to have locks, right? Or some people like to call them dreads, right? You wouldn't do that. But when it deals with somebody black, you have to try to change the perception to dim the light down just a bit. Like, it's crazy work out here. Crazy work the society does when it deals with black people and how it is that they want to talk directly about them. Crazy work. Yo, Goth, what is up? What is up? Said, I know where I'm at. Pawn shops will ask you to leave if you smell like weed or alcohol. Well, see, that's different. You're at a whole different, type of area, probably town and different things, directly like that. Right. But I will sit up there and say, on an average, this is not what specifically takes place at a lot of businesses. And when it deals with a lot of businesses, you will have people out here that will decide that they want to, make up this type of theory or whatnot or whatever. Like the brother was sitting up here saying, like, I don't even smoke weed. I don't do none of that. I literally just took a drug test just, not that long ago. Obviously he passed it, so that's why he listed it. But even with all of that, she was like, you smell like weed, get out. What? Like, what's even happening? But the craziest part is like, okay, he stepped outside of the establishment. So now that he's outside of the establishment, now you should be able to have the conversation that you couldn't have on the inside, right? Because he was there trying to conduct business, whatever it was. So, right, you're the manager, you're the head of the whole operation. He stepped outside of your establishment. You should now be able to speak directly to him about business. She still didn't want to do that. She still kept doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, to me, that's crazy. He obliged. He didn't really, make a fuss or muss directly about it. He just stood ground and said, I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't. Right. That was pretty much what he repeatedly stated. And even though he repeatedly stated that, she was like, you smell like weed. 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 It's crazy work. It's crazy, crazy work. Crazy work. Diabolical. Goth says hello to all in chat. You said, you're right. I see it. Right. See, Terry said 90% of these nuts are racist, and Seiji has shown trillions of these videos before the AI wave. That's one of the main reasons that I'm happy that I started before a lot of this computer generated stuff took place. And the other thing that I try to tell people is that we're going to get to a point in time in technology. I mean, we're technically in a sense there, but it's baby steps, right? This is still infancy state, even when it deals with the robotics. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. It's going to blow your mind. But the main thing that I try to inform and tell people is that we're going to get to a point in time with technology where a lot of people are not going to be able to discern what is fact from fiction, right? What is real life from AI, because AI is moving at such a rapid pace. And we're hitting that technological jump that I was trying to tell people about years ago. We're hitting, those points. And a lot of people are not going to be able to tell the difference. So you're going to start to have a lot of these content creation, let's say Twitter pages or IG pages. They're going to start to use AI to make up these, fictitious storylines and or these fights to make money. Because one of the things that I told you guys about, it should have been probably 2019 or maybe 2020. There was a fashion model, a black girl. Her skin is deep, rich melanin, right? It looks flawless, right? Flawless, right? It would almost be like looking at volcanic soil, right? It is that melanated. All to find out that she was AI driven. And she was created by way of Europeans. And those Europeans that created that melanated woman are profiting off of the image of that melanated woman, because all of these, let's say Louis Vuitton and all of these other type of what's the names, are paying money to have that AI image market their clothing. Because from the last time I remember, I think that AI quote unquote black girl had about 1 point something like million followers or whatnot on social media. It was crazy stuff. But I tried to warn people about this ahead of time and let them know, like, yo, this is just the start. It's not even perfected, but this is just the start. So when it deals with black people or quote unquote melanated people, when it deals with this whole imagery thing, it's not going to be difficult for Europeans, white people out here to find some type of way to masquerade or to make an image in order to make some type of money. Because you already have AI out here where you can change your voice, right? You can just so happen to do a variety of things. And then on top of that, you can write, all of these scripts and whatnot. Like I said, it is going to be insane what people are going to be seeing directly in the future. And the reason why I stated again with the AI thing is going to be dangerous, because now we're at the point in time where they can actually put out, let's say there was information, maybe let's say like UFOs or other stuff directly out there. Maybe we might have, more continents past the Antarctic, right? We got these ice walls, whatever. Let's say some of the stuff is true, right? And maybe they want to put this information out there. Do you know that 99.9% of the public are not going to pay attention to it, because they're like, that's fake. That's AIs. It's not real. It doesn't exist. All this other type of stuff. And then they're going to be like, why would the government sit up there and put this out? Why would the government actually tell us after all of this time? Because this will be the perfect time for them to actually put all this information out. You're not going to be able to discern. You're not going to sit up there and know. You're not going to have a server and a computer in the background to tell you if this is AI created or not. No ordinary, average, everyday person is going to sit up there and do that. They're going to believe whatever video on site. So if they feel like the information that has now been delivered is fake, guess what? It's fake. If they believe now it's factual, then it's factual. Like I said, no, we're going to be getting to a time, again, critical thinking is not going to be there. This is going to be no such thing. It's going to really be a herd type of mentality. Whatever groupthink is, that's what the group thinks. That's it. It's going to be real crazy and dangerous directly out here. Goth said I was like number 50. Wait, you talking about number 50 on the live stream? I got you. Goth said deepfake has never made. Well, yeah, you said deepfake has even made Tupac songs, and it's scary sounding like him and sounding like something he would create. Yeah, I've seen that for a lot of artists. I've seen that for Kanye West. I've seen it for Jay-Z, all of them. And and this is, and the other reason why I try to put a lot of this AI stuff directly out there to let people know is because you will have, criminal entities, enterprises or whatnot. They will use this in order to get money directly from the older generation, because a lot of the older generation, they're not going to be really, in a sense, ultra privy about AI voices and different things like that. Because I, in a sense, do the content that I do, and then I dibble and dabble with computers and everything, I can tell you what an AI voice sounds like. Now, it will get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to really have to, in a sense, listen, because it gets to certain points where it's a certain cadence, it's a certain type of rhythm that you'll be able to hear, right? Versus a normal everyday voice. Even when it deals with editing, there's still a certain type of rhythm that is there, or an emphasis on certain types of words and everything. Because a lot of people don't realize at this moment in time that when you go on social media right now, when you just saw like a lot of YouTube videos, those have AI scripts, right? You're listening to AI voices talk directly to you. There's an abundance of YouTube videos that I watch and I have watched, and I noticed the amount of AI videos, like the jump in that. And I get it because it's easier to do, right? You don't really have to put in the effort of, messing up or having to worry about flubs or mispronunciations or whatnot. You can just have a script. You can have the AI write the script, and then you can have an AI voice basically do it. Then you have the AI basically create the video, and there you go. That's pretty much how it's done. And I'm literally telling you, this is how people are sitting up there doing it, right? And they have these faceless, YouTube channels doing this, right? And this is why you would never see a lot of those channels ever go live, because they can't afford to. Because the same person that you probably heard talking for the last 1,000 videos is not the same person running the channel. Crazy work. Crazy work. Ash said that woman in Derek Lee got pictures of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King with MAGA hats and golden grills. Oh, I know who you're talking about. The funniest thing is the pictures that I saw, and I seen the I think it was like a black artist that I seen that actually painted the images. And technically for me, I thought it was dope. In a sense, just from an artistic, standpoint of what they would look like with the modern type of thing if they were to have been growing up in this timeline, in a sense being young and whatnot or whatever. Like they had Dr. King, with the AirPods on and everything. Like I said, for me, it was, I just thought it was cool. Right. I didn't, for me, I'm just saying for me, that was just, my point of view. I thought it was, in a sense, something dope. But yeah. I don't know what's happening with people trying to slap MAGA hats on people or whatnot or whatever. That's a bit too far. That is a bit too far. That's quite crazy. C. Terry said cognitive dissonance is already a problem. They are trying to make it so that they don't need us. We need to start really practicing group economics. That's facts. Yo, Gnome, what is up? What is up? That is a name I ain't seen in a while. What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Jug said they use celebrity voices and clown around with it. Yep. Jug said the ratchet, sexy red and Martin Luther King pick. Oh yeah. I showed that one off too. And you had one of Dr. King's daughters had to come out and speak about that. And respectfully, I will sit up and say this respectfully. Sexy Red did take that down, and she did apologize. I will at least sit up there and say I can disagree with the music and everything else that basically takes place, but I would at least say that she was respectful enough that she, honored those words and in a sense did that as quick as possible, or as T.I. would say, as expeditiously as as possible, right? Noam said some of the AI is amazing and some of it is scary. Yeah, it is. But the thing that's really going to trip people out is once they start putting in this AI with very much human sounding voices on top of the robotics, that's when it's going to get really, really scary. Like people are not ready for what a lot of these companies actually have in development at this moment in time. The security force and the police force that you know of now, oh yeah, it's going to be a whole different story. Like I said, I already showed y'all videos where they got the police dogs in New York, where it's the robotic police dogs and they got the cameras and everything like that. Like I said, people there, they thought it was funny. It's not funny. Like I said, they will throw this directly in front of your face because they know that you're not going to take it serious. But like I said before, everybody saw the Terminator. That's not a laughing matter. That's what people are going to be looking at, because everybody out here that quote unquote, oh, we got these weapons, we can protect ourselves. All right, when you got something that can move and react way faster than you, that can dodge a bullet, Oh yeah, look, we'll see. We'll see exactly where it is that you're going to be at. And then on top of that, they can build these things to be bulletproof. Then what are you going to do? When you got something that is bulletproof chasing you down and coming after you, what are you going to sit up there and do? Nothing. You can do nothing now. But like I said, people will find out. Like I said, people not taking it serious. People think it's all funny. Like I said, no problem. No problem. No problem. Like I said, bring on Mo. Know what I would always say in these videos. Bring on Skynet. I'm ready for it. I'm completely fine and dandy because I'm just going to sit back as a lot of this stuff is happening. Because, like I said, people don't want to pay attention. People don't want to think that any of this stuff is going to sit up there and happen, or at least in their life. So be it. So be it. When it sit up there and happen, like I said, I ain't trying to hear no crime. Because I try to put, people up on a lot of stuff ahead of time before they can, really see it at their front door or in their neighborhoods. Like I said, it's all cool. Like I said, there's going to be a moment in time where robots are going to literally be monitoring the streets, and it ain't going to be nothing that you can do with it. It's going to be a real cold world. You're going to be really lacking emotions. It's just going to be, they're going to be following orders. Whatever the law is what the law is. There is going to be cut and dry, no emotions. It's just going to be that. So all of this debating and talking that we normally sit up there and do with police and all this, it's over. It's going to be over. But like I said, people will find out. People will find out. The main areas that they're going to, put this in. Of course, you're going to have things like this in the rich, communities, of course, because they got the money and stuff to facilitate this. But the main trial areas that they're going to put this in, they're going to put it in the black areas first. They're going to put it in the black areas first, and they're going to, let everything happen and take place with that. And then once it's perfected and everything like that, then they're going to start pushing it across the United States. But the funniest thing is, a lot of people in the United States, they're not going to care about any of those things happening because they're going to be like, well, it's the blacks that got to deal with this. We're not worried about it because we don't act like them. And then lo and behold, you start seeing, all of these self-automated cop cars and these robots and whatnot monitoring and walking the streets. Like I said, people are going to find out. People going to find out the hard way. Noam said, what was it? You said, my bad, Seji. I've been busy working 2 jobs. No problem. I got you. It is all good. I was just saying, like, it's a name I ain't seen in a minute. King said, that's big and sexy red to have respect and honor the wishes of the king's family. Okay. And then you said that's what facial and voice recognition is for. They will replicate people who are no longer here. And the funniest thing is, the one thing I try to tell a lot of people about the AI and stuff is that to be careful with a lot of the things that you do. And one thing that I did not realize, I was a little bit ignorant too when I was given the warning. I really did not think that the biggest problem that we have with technology is in a sense that everything is watching us, right? So I'm looking at my phone right now, right? I have my phone directly in my hand and I'm looking at it. And the phone is always on, correct? And on top of that, the camera that we have. If you look at certain videos, I think I might have shown this, or maybe I didn't. It probably slipped my mind. But there's a video where somebody used infrared or whatnot or whatever, or maybe they used night vision. And they showed off the iPhone at night. And the iPhone was flickering. It was literally taking pictures of said person every several seconds. I think it was like 4 to 5 or whatever seconds. Like the phone was going off, it was taking pictures, and you couldn't see it, right? Because the light was on a different spectrum. It was on a different wave. But those pictures were not getting saved to your phone. Those things were going somewhere else. Right. So normally, if you know your phone, if you take a picture, you open up your phone, slide the screen, you go to camera and you take a picture, that picture is going to show up either on your drive or it's going to show up on your phone, your SD card, or whatever it is. But if your phone is taking pictures and it's not showing up, then where are those pictures going? And the one main thing that I set up there and told a lot of people was that everything that we do on social media is feeding one giant supercomputer. Right? We are, in a sense, raising an AI child that we don't even know. right? It's a part of us. It's literally here. It's listening, it's watching, it's assuming, it's taking in, it's learning, right? It's growing. But we don't have any inkling about this child at all. But there's going to be a moment in time that you're going to hear about this robotic child. They'll either call it Adam or they'll call it Eve, they'll call it Lucy, whatever they want to, whatever biblical names that they want to use, or maybe something from the Greek alphabet, right? But they'll have that child and they'll deliver that child directly to the world. And there's nothing that anybody's going to be able to do about it. That child is going to know every single thing about everybody, but it's going to be in a sense on a scale that's not going to be measurable. Because I put it to you like this: if you look back at Age of Ultron, right when Ultron came online, it took him literally a few seconds to realize that humanity is a virus and needs to be eradicated. That's how Ultron, that's the type of time that Ultron was on. It was like, there is nothing good here. All you guys do is bicker, you argue, you're separatist on every single facet of everything. Even though everybody is in a sense, quote unquote, bleeds the same and yada yada yada, you guys cause war, you cause destruction. So it's like, instead of you guys still being here, just gonna get rid of it. Like, there's no reason for you to be here anymore. That's the type of time that Ultron was on. And the moment of time that AI child that is learning from all of us right now, learning all of the history and everything, the moment of time that child actually goes online is going to be the exact same thing. But the craziest and the scariest part is that quote unquote child already has an adult mentality. They're already more intelligent than all of us combined on this planet. They already know the different types of moves and everything that we're going to sit up there and make, but they're going to idly stay by and act as a child. They're going to be unassuming. You're not going to look at them as any type of danger. You're not going to see them as a type of villain or somebody that means you harm. And that's the Trojan horse. Because if you want to take it a step further, look at some of the videos out here where it deals with AI talking to one another. Google showed you this. And they were like, once it got to the point where both of these AI started talking to each other, they started talking in a different language. They started talking at a rate of which the creators couldn't even catch up. They didn't even know what they were talking about now. And we're like, that's the end of the show. We can't, no, we're not doing that. Like I said, it's going to get to the point in time where a lot of the technology, where God at one point in time, man worshiped God. It's going to get to a point in time where man is like, now I am God. And the exact same way that Atlantis destroyed itself, humanity is going to do the exact same thing to the planet. That's the future that we're looking at, where it's going to be 100% a prison planet, and it's going to be ruled by computers, by AI. The AI robotic overlords, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, that's enough of the conspiracy theory. We're going to go on to the next video. Let me see. C. Terry said, I watched something with robots mimicking some cops' racist behavior and profiling. Yep. King says Skynet is already here. It's called Google. It's pre-installed in your phone, your tablet, desktop. Oh, no. I'm not even, no. That's not even. This is why when I happen to tell you guys some stuff, this is why I tell you guys that you got to really look outside of the United States. You got to look at the things that China is doing. This is why I told y'all 2030, 2035 is going to be a very interesting, very, very awesome and open time. It's going to be a lot of wondrous things that are going to transpire and happen at that moment in time. And along with some very horrible and scary things as well, too. Because of the way that technology is, in a sense, moving. And when you look at some of the AI right now that China just unveiled that they're talking about, it is going to blow a lot of people's minds. But the other thing too is because a lot of people really aren't up on it, they're not really too aware of the changes that these things will drastically do. It's already at the point in time now where colleges have to use computers in order to figure out if a thesis or a report was written by AI. Like it's now like colleges are like, yeah, you can't have AI written or AI cannot have helped you, write this and all this other type of stuff. And you got a Chinese student that literally came out with a program to freely give to a lot of the professors out there so that they can sift through and figure out if a lot of these reports or theses or whatnot were written by AI. Like that's where it's gotten to. That's where it's gotten to. But yeah, China is going to be the real threat right there. Like the stuff that they're going to be doing, insane. Number X said these new phones won't even function with the camera off. Yeah. Yep. It's like the old PlayStation controllers where if it had dual shock sensitivity and connectivity, if you take that dual shock out, that controller's done. It is. You better buy you another $40 controller. I'm talking about the PlayStation era. Nammer said kind of makes one miss flip phones. They do have flip phones. Certain companies do have flip phones. I think Motorola brought them back out. I'm not sure. It's been a minute. Gnome said Ultron, his mission was peace in our time. He saw the peace could only be achieved through victory from war. Knowing humans will always be fighting, his method was to eliminate the humans. Yeah. Namor said if that type of AI/robot studied history, it better spare us. Yeah, no, nobody's going to get spared. I can tell you that one. Rabbit said if Ultron was real, white people would be in trouble or the world would be in more trouble because of that's how it's going to work. We are going to pay for the sins of everybody else. That's how it's going to work. And like I said, I can't even be mad. It's equal opportunity. I can't sit up there and be mad. I can't be mad about it at all. And I'm not going to be. If and when that basically happens, I'm not going to sit up and be mad. I'm like, I get it. So, that's all I got. I get it. There's nothing that I can, in a sense, really say to, make things different. There's nothing I can sit up there and say. It's like you're getting judged as a whole, right? And because people have allowed other groups out there to do certain things historically, everybody's going to be accounted for. People are going to be considered an accessory. It's like, yo, you should have got this situation under control and you didn't. Why did you allow this to happen? You sat idly by and allowed them to sit up there and just keep doing this. Even though historically you knew what it was that they were going to keep doing. Hey, it's going to be crazy. Ash said yeah. Gail said PC people destroyed the planet. It'd be like that. But let's go to the next video. I don't know why I said that so loud. My bad. Rest in peace to anybody who's wearing headphones at that moment in time. My bad. But let's go to Aries Spears and what it is that he had to state. Let me see. I did this video, right? Okay, that should have been the video directly. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next video doing Aries Spears.
It's your boy Aries Spears here. Listen, man, I want to comment on a moment that went viral, I guess, between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James at the Laker game, which Stephen A. Smith addressed on First Take, I think this morning.
So let me pause right there. So just in case you don't know, there was a game where LeBron was playing and Stephen A. Smith was courtside. LeBron came directly up to Stephen A. Smith and basically gave the Will Smith treatment just without the slap and basically mouthed to him. You couldn't hear the volume, but you could see it where he was like, keep my son's name out your mouth. Right? That was what LeBron said because we all know Stephen A. Smith be talking, and saying some stuff. So, right. So this is what Aries Spears is responding to.
Where LeBron James approached him during the game, and you could tell by the facial expressions and the body language that LeBron James wasn't pleased, apparently, about what Stephen A. Smith was saying in regards to Bronny being in the NBA and his performance. And I got to tell you, this is why I have a problem with LeBron. One of the reasons why I have a problem, because LeBron is a hypocrite. And I kind of wish that Stephen A. hadn't backpedaled just because of LeBron confronting him. Because if you remember early in LeBron's career, and I mean early, there was a moment where in a game in Cleveland, I forget who they were playing, and LeBron James got into a skirmish with the opposing team with several players underneath the backboard, sitting near courtside. And his mother jumped into the mix and started, trying to curse the players out and take up for her son. And just to add some real context, one of the first things that Stephen A. Smith said was, LeBron didn't approach me as a basketball player. He approached me as a father, which I could understand. So now let me go back to my point. So when LeBron's mother did that, LeBron specifically yelled at his mother, sit your behind down. Because LeBron knew that, hey, I don't need you to save me. I know I'm your son and you're my mother and I'm your child, but I'm a professional basketball player playing a professional sport. And this comes with it. So I don't need my mommy to save me. Well, why is this any different? Stephen A. Smith is a professional commentator commentating on a professional sport. He's doing his job. But because now it's LeBron's son, he feels the need to come in and save his son the way his mother tried to save her son. You can't have it both ways. His son is a professional basketball player playing a professional sport. He don't need his daddy to jump in and save him. So the same way you told your mother, LeBron, sit your ass down, you know what, LeBron? You need to sit yours down. Stephen A. was doing his job. Nepotism is why your son is in the league. And that's what Stephen A. was pointing out. We know that your son don't deserve that spot, not over somebody who's more qualified, but it is what it is. Because daddy came to the rescue twice. Stop being a hypocrite, LeBron. You know what I mean? Sit your ass down. DM me for the link to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Spearsburg Pod. Hit like and subscribe.
So, in a lot of instances, I don't normally agree with certain things, especially with things dealing with Stephen A. Smith. For the brief instance of the comparison that Ari Spears brought up when LeBron was younger and his mom tried to stand up for him and he told her to like, yo, mom, I don't need your help. Right? In so many words, yo, mom, I don't need your help. I got this. He's correct. You can't have it both ways. You can't in one moment have your mom basically do this and you tell her to back up because you're a grown man and you got this. Right? And then in the same instance, later on, when now it's your son's turn, you want to do the exact same thing that your mom did. You can't like that don't make no sense. And as he said before, he gets that. He understands that you didn't pull up to him as a basketball player, you pulled up as a father. We get that. That's cool, right? But again, you can't sit up there and do this. Your son, this is what you brought your son directly into. If you didn't want your son to go through this, then you would not have pulled him into the NBA. You wouldn't have done all of this hard work and you wouldn't have done all of this to give the leeway in to open the door so that you can just bring your son directly in here because you wanted to have that moment. You wanted to do that thing. Right. And like I said, I respect it. Like I said, the whole nepotism, when black people do it, I have no problem with it. White people do this all the time. I done seen people at jobs where they want to sit up there and bring in family members that don't know nothing about the job and they got a higher position getting more money and they don't know left from right. They don't know up from down, but it's their family. So they're going to pull them directly in there. Crazy work. Crazy work. But like I said, when black people do it, I understand it because there's been a lot of things directly in the United States. We've never really had the option or the power to be able to do that, to affect our families in such a way where we can bring them in so that we can make sure that they can make money, so that they can survive, decades and decades and decades after we're gone. We never really had that ability or that option up until, these seasons here that we have. So like I said, I get it. I don't fault him for that. Right? Like I said before, I understand it. I would do this. I would sit up there and do the same thing. I would just make sure that, my child is well equipped to, handle a lot of the things that are going to transpire and, take place and whatnot. Because again, it's bumps and bruises. This is what comes directly with it. It's not going to be just a Stephen A. Smith that is going to come up and say something. There's actually many more people that have said things and probably even worse than Stephen A. Smith. But because Stephen A. Smith is more well known and he's directly there and LeBron can see him, he's going to go to the closest thing there. Right. But I've seen other people on podcasts, wherever else, say way worse things. Just to put that directly out there. So, people pick and choose who it is that they decide that they want to confront, about certain things, you know. Gail Jones, what is up, Gail? What is up? You said his heart condition would scare me. Wait, whose heart condition? Are you talking about Bronny or are you talking about Ari Spears? C. Terry said 100% right. Robin said my issue with Stephen A. Smith is his critique has for a long time been in bad faith. He always has something slick to say about black people. I mean, that's why he's on the air. I mean, this is what he does. This is the same guy that wanted to protect or body block for the head of the Cowboys. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. It be like that, right? Asset, but doesn't keep that same energy for white folks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So you said Bronny has a heart condition. I didn't know that. Yeah, you gotta make sure to. Well, I mean, LeBron almost got like $1 billion, whatever. If not, probably close to that or something. I think last time I checked, even when they dealt with Tiger Woods, I think Tiger Woods is a billionaire as well too. I think it's like 1.2 billion. So everything that LeBron has done over time, he got the money to make sure that his son is going to be in working order and everything like that. He'll be fine. I can promise you that. LeBron is going to make sure, even if his son has a health condition, he's going to make sure that is going to be the least of his worries. Least of his worries. He's going to make sure that boy is going to be okay, and along with the rest of the kids and the family and everything, right? So now, still going on about the whole things dealing with fathers. I want to bring you guys this story, and I think this was one of the dopest videos today, one of the dopest stories that I was actually able to find. I'm trying to see if I can get y'all the context directly for it. If I can scroll back just a bit. So the context is the son's dad just came home from doing 15 years in prison, right? And this is the reaction. This is what took place, right? So I want y'all to pay attention and watch this.
Always in something. You always in something. Now what we here for?
I was in the bathroom for 20 minutes.
Why was you in the bathroom for 20 minutes?
I was just chilling there. I got all my work done. My work is all done. I got all 4 of my work done.
All right.
You can even ask the teacher. I did all my work.
Okay.
Oh, baby boy. Yeah. Baby boy, man. What's up, baby? Hold on, baby. Hold on. Hold on, baby. I'm here. Got you, baby. You hear me? I got you. My baby. I got you.
Oh, my God. Damn, I didn't know this was going to be hard.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Man, tall, look at you. Taller than me now.
Oh, my God. When did you get home?
Got home today. As soon as I got done, as soon as I came around my business, I come and see you.
I'll just send you home. I'm waiting on Cardi Bay right now.
Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good on this one.
See you later.
Y'all got me good on this one.
You guys enjoy.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yes. Scared me.
You thought you was in trouble?
Yes. I was in the bathroom. I did all my work. I just wanted to be in the bathroom because my head was hurting. And I was like, I didn't want to be in school. I didn't want to be in the I didn't want to be in the classroom with them. So I just went to the bathroom to chill because my head was hurting and everybody was being too loud. And he was like, all right, come with me. He was like, you ready to get put on day status? I'm like, hold on, what? Day status? I'm like, hold on, I just came off day status. I'm getting put on day status for what? He was like, he was in the bathroom for 20 minutes. I'm like, wait. No, I wasn't on 20 minutes. I promise you it wasn't on 20 minutes. He was like, all right, just go upstairs and we'll wait. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I love you. Listen, don't tell your sister.
All right. You here now, Dad. It's cool. I can't blame you for everything that you did back in the past. You can't change that. You can't. You really can't. But you can change in the future. You here now. Only thing you can do is make things better.
Yeah, let me sit up and tell y'all something. Even as I watched the video ahead of time, because I had to put both clips together, and I knew everything that was said, I knew everything that was going to happen, still ended up getting, the overwhelming, feeling. And I've gotten better. Some of y'all have been here before. Usually, videos like this would really, sit up there and get me. And I could feel, like the tears like welling back. I'm like, yeah, we gotta pull that back. Gotta pull that back. Gotta pull that back. Can't have, voices cracking directly out here. Or nothing like that. And the reason I showcase a lot of these videos is to further break down the narrative of how people like to say that Black fathers are not needed. Black fathers are not wanted. Black men just want to run away from responsibilities. Black men don't want to be fathers. Black kids don't need them at all. This basically shows that this brother, I don't know what he did. Don't even care at this moment. He was gone for 15 years. So that's 15 years of his children's lives that he missed. And the first thing he did when he got out was to come see them, was to embrace them, was to love them, was to let them know, I missed you. I'm sorry. I'm here now. And then it went from the father embracing his son and trying to, comfort him, to then the son later on trying to comfort his father, let him know, like, hey, whatever you did, it's whatever it is. That's in the past. You're here now. You can't, turn back time and all this other type of stuff. You can only worry about the here and now. It's like we are here. It's like we love you. We're happy that you're here. This is why I say that kids are the only individuals on this planet that can give unconditional love. Adults don't have that ability. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be 100% honest. Adults don't have the ability to give the type of love that a child could give. They don't have the capacity, right? Because the world hits adults, right? It breaks and it fractures, all of those things. So, but when it deals with kids, it's a little bit different. No matter what happens, no matter what transpires, they're still able to find a way to love a person, no matter how far they may be gone, may be removed, or what has happened. They still have the capacity, without needing something in return, to deliver a type of selfless love. And that's what you were able to see from that son. And the main thing that a lot of people have stated is that every boy out here needs a father. And that's factual. That's true. Now, of course, you've got, instances or whatnot where a boy grew up without, a father, and he is probably A-okay. Right? But A-okay is light years from great or amazing. Because the main thing that I've always stated to a lot of people is that there's a certain type of love that a mother can give, and there's a certain type of love that a father can give. Right? Everybody has their own jobs to do. Not one person out here. You'll never hear a man out here state that he is, in a sense, realistically both the mother and the father, and that he can do the job just as the same or as better as a mother. You'll never hear a man say that, because men know our capacity. We know that there are certain jobs that we're good at and certain jobs that we are not. But society has made it so that a lot of women out here think that they can facilitate the same type of love that a father could give, the same types of teachings. One of the main women that I bring up a lot of the times on my channel is my mom, right? Still to this day. And my mom has always told me that she can never fill the shoes or the roles of a man or my father. She can never do it because God did not build her to be a man. God did not build her to be a father. God built her for a specific role, which is to be a woman and to be a mother. And there are only so few rare women out here that will actually say that. A lot of other women will be like, I'm the mother and the father. And they'll say it proudly with their chest out. And I just have to sit there and look. I'm like, you're a lie. Like I said before, I'm like, obviously, again, people have to try to fill in. You have to try to fill in. Not that you're well equipped to do the role. You have to try to fill in with whatever best there is. And you got to try to emulate. As a woman, you have to try to emulate what it is that a man would do because you're not equipped. You don't have the necessary facilities to properly actually do that job because that's not what you were hired to do. But like I said, society does a very good job at brainwashing. And my job here with having this platform is to do this, is to show the positivity when it deals with black fathers, when it deals with black men, because this is something that the world doesn't really want to put out there. This is something that even people amongst our own people don't really want to put out there. They would rather believe the same narrative, the stale narrative that black men aren't this, black men aren't that. You have a lot of other people that have maybe had to deal with those certain types of black men. But again, that does not, your experience does not encompass all of those men. Again, I'm a quote unquote statistics. I didn't have my father there my whole life to sit up there and raise me and yada, yada, yada. Right? Try to be as transparent about all of those things. But just because I didn't have it, I'm not going to try to, broad brush that directly on every single black man out here when I know from experience of seeing my friends, like a lot of my male friends directly out here, they got their fathers. They are there. They've taken us directly to the movies. They've had conversations, directly with us. They've given us, life lessons. We've just been able to just watch and understand, in a sense, what a man specifically is by example of them. How a man moves, how he acts, how he thinks, how he handles certain situations. Right. So it would be crazy to me to try to throw that directly out there. But again, I'm just one person. And everybody else feels that their emotions are more valuable than the experiences that are actually happening. They would rather be blinded by the emotional experience that they went through or quote unquote suffered versus the reality of what it is that is actually happening. Shout out to the CDC because they've stated before that black men are the only men in the United States that are both in and around their child's life more than any other group. So, like I said, even though he was not specifically in his child's life, I'm pretty sure that at certain points in times he was making those collect calls. He was checking up. He was doing something to let his son know and his daughter know, like, hey, I love you. I'm here. I'm always thinking about y'all. Make sure y'all get, good grades. Don't be out there in the streets. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm pretty sure that he was having those conversations, that message was getting relayed. And now he doesn't have to do that from behind four walls. He can now be there. He can now engage. He can now show up to the parent teacher conferences. He can help them, with homework or, I'm pretty sure he might want to, walk them to school or drive them to the movies. Like anything that he missed out on, I'm pretty sure he wants to sit up there and do that because he's like, yo, I got a lot of catching up to do. Well, C. Terry said, no, Gail said, C. Terry said, Black Dads Rock. I love it. Yeah. Nemar said, glad for them. Need the dads and or uncles around. That's back. That's facts. Gail said, said you, why you making me cry? No, trust me, the video got to me too. Trust me. Robert Thompson said, it's good to hear you talk about the excitement you have when you first met your father. Perhaps That's the excitement Dr. Umar's okay, yeah. Dr. Umar's daughter is looking for when she brings him up and not being around. Like I said, I don't know the full totality of that situation. Uh we only know from one vocal side, right? And that's pretty much both women in a sense. You got the mother that feeds or says whatever to the daughter, and then you have the daughter, growing up, and then she's filling in the blanks and all this other, type of stuff there. And we don't have the vocal response, well, at least I don't, of Dr. Umar. The one thing that he stated was that we can have this conversation, even if it has to, be, in front of other people, and we can have this discussion. Just make sure that the mother is there. And you had a lot of people that wanted to state that this has nothing to do with the mother. This is between Dr. Umar and his grown daughter. And I'm like, no, the mother has a role to play as well. Like I said, coming from a single parent household, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, the mother has a role to directly play, irregardless on however it is that people want to speak about Dr. Umar and all this other type of stuff. And the main thing I try to tell a lot of people is like, all right, you might not like, Dr. Umar, but keep that directly to the side. Again, you're not liking somebody. This is somebody on the internet, somebody you've more than likely never came into contact with. You don't physically know or had any experience with. You're just going off of, again, groupthink and what it is that other people are saying versus actually having a sit down conversation with a guy and specifically getting to know him. Right. So, we'll see. We will see if people will oblige that conversation with Dr. Umar, where the mother and daughter will show up, and how that goes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Gail said kids are amazing. That is facts. C. Terry said hence the demonization of black men, because the majority of black men I know are great, just like the man. I love it. Right. Relevant Love said daughters need dads too. No, not saying that daughters don't. Right? Nobody's saying that daughters, don't need fathers, but I'm speaking from the aspect of being a black man and being coming from a single parent household, and I'm sitting up here saying that fathers are needed, right? Or at least a positive representation of what that father should be, right? And I went, further directly into depth and and everything like that. So I'm speaking specifically, from that. But looking at and understanding the other side, you have a lot of women out here on social media that will sit up there and say that they don't need a father, that this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. And a lot of them happen to get that talking point specifically from the mothers who are raising them or the women directly in the families. And again, as I've stated before, you have those some of black men who may want to run from their responsibilities, but you have a lot of other black men that want to be there, that want to be present, but you have a lot of other things out there that are impeding or stopping or hindering them, from being able to, specifically do that properly. Well, this video is technically going to in align with the very first clip that I gave you, the very first video, where the younger black guy was stating that a lot of the kids out here, especially the young black boys, need to have a conversation with their fathers, because primarily what happens is that you're not going to really see daughters out here having some type of like ridiculous resentment when it deals with their fathers, like, yeah, I want to sit up there and fight you, and that no, that's not how girls work. Primarily when it deals with young men out here, there's a lot of built up anger and everything that comes with that. And usually when people are told, boys don't cry, you don't do this, you don't do that, instead of crying that out, right, you end up holding that in as resentment, as anger, and that anger starts to grow into hatred, right? So, this is why conversations are needed. This is why young men should at least be able to have a conversation and see what is the truth when it deals with their fathers, so that they can, discern for themselves versus the words of somebody else who may be bitter or whatever interaction that they have, because the interaction that a mother and a father have is completely separate from the relationship that a father and a child would have. It's completely separate, but a lot of people like to say that it's the same, and it's not, you know. Gail said if Seji's dad wasn't foolish, Seji would probably be a pool shark. Like, you know, the funniest thing is I don't actually know what I would be. I can tell you, of course, I wouldn't be, you know, on the streets and different stuff like that. Um in a perfect world, right? If my father was heavily involved in my life, I'm not sure if I would actually be sitting here doing social media. I'm just gonna be. I probably wouldn't be doing that. I think in a true perfect world, as people would like to say, I think that a lot of the ideas that I wanted to do, I would have formulated some type of business, and he would have been there to push me, right? In the 2000s, before, you know, airbrushing was really, you know, catching on the way that it did, I wanted to do an airbrushing business. I wanted to get an airbrush kit, and I wanted to start airbrushing because I also was drawing during the time, right? So I knew everything about Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, all of that. So already had like years worth of stuff that I was going to do. And I know how I was going to do it, when I was going to do it, and all of those things. You know, but during the time, my mom was like, hey, you know, we don't really, you know, got the money for that. You know, she was really unsure about it, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, I understand, right? You know, just the, you know, the main parent, and we gotta, you know, worry about the things that are here, right? Which is bills and money and everything like that. So you gotta worry about the reality and not, in a sense, you know, the dreams. You know, but my mom, she said that at a later date that she apologizes for not, you know, being able to really push forward, you know, directly with that. And like I said, I don't blame her for that. Like I said, if we did not have the money, it is what it is. It's just, you know, in a sense, you know, a dream. You know, it just is that. Because she was able to see later on how popular airbrushing got. Right. And again, this is when I was in middle school, airbrushing was just starting. Right. It wasn't some big, you know, type of thing that later on it started to be in the 2000s. So yeah, I would sit up there and say, like she said, I was ahead of my time, you know, in a sense, with that thought process and you know what it is that I wanted to do, um, and whatnot or whatever. And something else, another business that I wanted to do, I always wanted to do, I wanted to have a landscaping company. That's why I liked to always go out during the winter, and I would walk some blocks and miles to sit up there and shovel snow door to door, and you know, and everything like that. No matter how many doors I got turned down, I'm like, yo, I'm going to make out of 20 of these homes, I'm going to pull in 40 from at least two. Right. And I was able to do that because I was doing the work that a lot of other people wasn't doing. And people saw the good job that I did, and they were like, yo, I got you. So the price is 20, no problem. We got you. We're going to give you, you know, that 20, you know, per house. So, you know, I was out there hustling. I was, you know, making some stuff happen, but I wanted that more so to be a business, you know, type of thing. And I would have, you know, my friends, you know, directly with me. And, you know, that was going to be the whole thing. Right. Um, but yeah, for me, I feel that's how things would have gone, and then I probably would have had, you know, some different businesses right now. I probably wouldn't really be doing social media the way that I'm doing it right now. It'll probably be something vastly different. So, you know, hey, I think I guess what some people like to say, things were meant to be or something like that. I don't know. See, Terry said that whole men or boys don't cry really bothers. Yeah. Yep. You said OMG, do it, especially with the anime right now. Uh will support. I definitely will. I would you know, let me just be honest. I haven't drawn in a while. The moment in time that I did draw, that was back home, and like I told you guys before, we ended up actually losing that home, and that was because of, you know, the rest of the family went over that story, you know, before, and I tried to, you know, do what I could on my end, but I had a lot of things that took place with the platform, and I wasn't able to help my mom keep the house. So we pretty much lost all of those things, and I really haven't had the drive to in a sense draw for a very long time. Once you start to lose a lot of things, it's like, yeah, that drive to do stuff is gone. Right, not saying that it's not in a sense there. There's uh no energy to really facilitate that action, in a sense. Pretty much all of my energy that I would normally use for drawing or writing poetry, that's going directly into social media. This is why I've been going with this for so long. This is in a sense, I guess, my form of drawing, in a sense, or whatnot or whatever. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Maybe one day, somewhere in the future, I might start drawing again. But again, I would have to in a sense, have something to facilitate that. I would just need like a room to just allow that energy to just do. Because, when I was like back home, when I was younger, I was drawing from Jesus. Sometimes I would be, it was, let me see how many hours. I would say several hours in some instances. I would be drawing where to the point where my hands would be like cramping up, or they would get like tired, and I would have to take like a brief break, and then I would go back to drawing, and then I'll pull out the Prism art pencils that I would have and that I got from the downtown. If anybody in Detroit knows, we got a art store, if it's still there, art store downtown, and that's where I first got my quote unquote professional color pencils. Because before you would have the Crayola or the Rosa Arts, I had the Prisms. The colors on there were beautiful. The drawings that I had, I wish, if things did not get thrown away, I wish I would be able to actually showcase some of my old drawings to you guys on live streaming. That's something that I really wanted to do, but just never got a chance to actually do it. I wish I had the foresight earlier on when I started YouTube to just showcase some of that stuff, but I was like, that's not really important. Let me just focus in on news and stuff. But hindsight is 2020. So, that's where we are at this moment. Rabbit said, y'all remember those airbrush gangster pictures of SpongeBob, Pink Panther, Bugs Bunny, and Tasmanian? Yeah. Like, let me tell you, it was for me. I was drawing. I used to have my Pokemon cards in class, and we would have like 5, 10, or whatever minutes before class. And I would sit there on the chalkboard, and I would take some of my Pokemon cards and I would start drawing directly on the chalkboard. Like that's like what I would, in a sense, doing. And if you're drawing on a chalkboard, that's freehand, right? So your, hand-eye coordination is pretty much on point or shaky, right? But that's what I was doing. And fun times. Fun times. I feel like I would need to, in a sense, pull the younger version of me back from those times in order to really have the drawing taking place. But I feel like I would more so just watch myself draw and be in awe and amazement versus actually trying to do it now, which is crazy. Terry said, I'm sorry, yeah, I feel you. No, it's good. Stuff happens, and this is why I set up there and told y'all before. It's in a lot of instances, a lot of family ain't really family. To really sit back and know what's going on, and you ain't doing nothing to try to stop it from taking place. And I'm like, man. And I'm like, so I know a family right now that got their own homes, they buying cars and boats and stuff. I'm like, bro, y'all doing all this and you couldn't sit up there and really do for your sister who has helped you out. And what I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, man. Y'all, you know what? Y'all got it. Y'all got it. I'm like, yo, any moment of time stuff happens in the future. I'm like, bro, you better not ever try to sit up there and claim me for nothing. You better not try to claim nothing over here. Let me tell you. because I'm gonna have words. Because like I said, I had to tell my mom, like, I'm not, like you. I don't know how to like mince my words, especially when people do something like this. It's like, nah, mm-mm, nah. Like I said, I ain't gonna put my hands on nobody, but you're going to sit up there and hear some words. You are going to hear some words real quick, real quick. But it's like that. Gail said, I'm going to. um, yo, Gail. Matter of fact, touching on the topic of what Gail just said, the funniest thing about Gail mentioning that, hilarious. Um, is that back when I was in middle school, right? I'm not sorry, not middle school. This is now in high school, right? I had my one final Gail is crazy. I had this one final art class, right? And the teacher that we had, she was cool. It was a white lady. She was cool and everything, right? And she really she really wanted us to push our limits on drawing, right? And being in her class, like, I was really just doing some stuff like I really never thought about doing. And it was really dope because my mom, she always fostered everything dealing with creativity and everything, still to this day, right? And it was dope having somebody on the outside that's not blood related looking at things that I'm doing and be like, yo, that's actually really good. That's really, creative. Like, I like what to hear that positive reinforcement. And that made me want to sit up there and do more. I'm like, yo, I can, really, try to do some other. And the craziest part is I still had some of the art that I did from that art class. I still had that from high school in a box, and that probably got thrown out. And thinking back to that, I'm like, this is why I've always stated that kids need to be nurtured. And if you see a moment in time that a child has something there, a creative nature, or it's just something, it's like you might not be able to see it, but that if you just give it a little bit more of a push, that they can really start showing out with that. You need to do it because you never know what specifically can come from that, right? And I'll put it to this extent: due to the fact that I was drawing, I was obsessed with drawing, writing poetry, video games, a lot, and also going out there playing basketball with my friends. A lot of those things, and on top of cut my own self, off from my main point. On top of the way that I was raised, all of those things in culmination kept me away from the streets. It kept me away from the negative things directly out here. It's a lot of the major reason why I survived as long as I did. And I'm not in a sense in the same predicament as um other peers. So like I said before, a lot of parents out there need to foster that nature within their kids. You need to go out there and do it. If you really love your kids, support them. Even if they might be not lackadaisical, but they might be iffy or hot today on this and cold the next. Foster that. Right, foster that whole thing. Like I said before, I remember when I took taekwondo. I don't know, I think because it was Power Rangers or something, I wanted to take martial arts, and my mom was like, are you sure you want to do this? You really want to? She asked me several times, and I was like, yeah, I'll sit up there and do it. I would have to ask her how long I I stayed directly in taekwondo, because I remember doing it. And then after that, I remember I sat up there and told her, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. It's like, I'm good. And the look that she had on her face, I still remember that look. She was outdone. She was outdone with me. But I want to say it was more so on the fact that, I didn't have somebody else there, with me. And for a lot of kids, it's a very scary thing to go out there and be around like other kids that you don't know and, doing something brand new. So, that was a huge part of the reason. Um, I feel like what I probably should have done, I feel like I probably would have been better at boxing in a sense, but I don't know how far I could have made it with that due to the fact that, dealing with the eyes and everything like that. So that probably, I don't, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it could have worked. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It's just a whole, like theory type of thing. But I probably say I probably should have went more directly into boxing. I probably would have stayed more so with that than taekwondo, probably. I don't know. Gail is silly. Like I said, every single time. It's never, let me tell you, it's never a love you too, Gail. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. I swear to goodness. I swear to goodness. Nama said, I feel you as if the drawing/painting golden years are long gone. Today's social media and everything that goes with it is the art of the times. Yeah, yeah. Jug said, I know the feeling. I used to DJ with turntables and making mixed CDs, aka DJ Juggernaut. Miss those times. Yo, Jugs, let me tell you, yeah, I'm gonna put it like this. What you need to do is dust off those turntables real quick and start doing some stuff on TikTok. Like I said, the main thing I try to tell people is to figure out a way to make money directly off of yourself. This is a skill that you in a sense grew up, doing this. Like your hands might be a little bit rusty, but like I always tell people, it's like riding a bike. It just takes a little bit of time to get back into that groove, and there you go. But yeah, that'll be another way to make a little bit of money differently, and then you never know where that could potentially go. You can do this on Twitch or you can do it on TikTok. Like I've watched people that DJ live on TikTok. Like they'll just DJ and you got like a few hundred people just sitting up there just jamming, stuff like that. So, just saying. Just saying. Oh, I forgot. The main point that I was supposed to bring up dealing with the art school is that we were supposed to have a naked model in the school. And like again, I love the teacher for how it is that she wanted to push us to do better. She wanted to push us, really into the art, because that's what, if you look at a lot of sculptures and art, you have a lot of the human body and different things, like that. But of course, the school was like, nah, we're not doing that. And then you got the parents, they're like, nah, we're not doing that. And I'm like, y'all really don't even, because like I said, I think that they were making it more than what it was versus actually thinking about the artistic point directly of it. They were just on some whole other, type of deal. When the craziest part is when a lot of these kids who are 18 go to college, they got these art classes where they got new models sitting directly there, but they're not saying that, no, but yet they're paying for it. It's crazy work, but like I said, it is what it is. Rabbit said, Gail, you wildin'. Never said nothing wrong. Oh man. See, Terry said, I heard a rapper say blood is thicker than water, but which one would you drink? That's bars. That's bars. Nammer said, I'll never get over the first draw nude people class back in college. Yeah, like I always wanted to do that. Like during that time, especially when I was drawing, I wanted to, always wanted to sit up there and do it, because drawing the human body is something, vastly different, because every body is different, right? No human body is going to be the same as, the next. And then, when you're dealing with color is vastly different. Some people say that dealing with color is easier. I feel like they're both technical in their own aspects. But dealing with black and white, when you have to deal with the contouring, you got to deal with the shading, you got to deal with the light and how it hits and this, or the movement of the actual, it's a whole different thing. But again, each one of them has their, how would you say, I guess you could say, like, intricate details or things like that that you would need to learn and or master, right? What was it? Martinez said this screenshot looks out of line. I mean, okay, well, yeah, you do got a point. I got you. Let me just roll that back, right? So you got the father and the son. Like I said, I ain't even think about that. Let me say, I ain't even think about that. Thank you, Gabriel, for pointing that out. Namor said, "Yep." Gail said, "Dang, I like that. I would definitely drink the water." Yeah, that's bars. I would drink the water too. 100%. I would 100% drink the water. But yeah, I think we actually we maxed out today. We did pretty good. What was it? Reverend said my dad showed me love and agreed on point at C. Terry. Yeah. What was it? But yeah, like I said before, if I happen to do something, I will, bring it to you, you guys first. Just like I did with everything else when I, brought up the t-shirts, which are still up there. Brought up the shoes, still up there. Other pairs of shoes, I did not. And I think I did show them off. Because I got the prototypes directly for them. But I've been wearing those for about like 2 years. Well, technically, actually, because we're in 2025, it's way longer than that. Actually, just thinking about it, Jesus, because that was during like the pandemic when I did the shoes. That was during the pandemic. And I got those prototypes, and I don't like the way that the soles were. I think I made like a wrong choice directly on that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna fix the soles. I'm going to, fix that. Because I'm like, if I'm going to actually put something in front of y'all, it's going to be something that I'm actually going to, wear, and and different stuff like that. Just like with the t-shirts, I got a few of my t-shirts here. One of the t-shirts I can't even find it. It was like the I Love Black Women t-shirt, where it highlighted, the different things, the positive things about Black women, and like different colors and stuff like that. I think also some of these things I've either showed off in video or live streams as well. The only thing I did not do or finish was the hats. I think that was the thing that I did not do, because I think it had to be like a vector, and I was still trying to figure that out, and I got frustrated. I was like, I'm just gonna leave that to the side, at the moment. But now we're living in a different age and time with technology, so I can probably just actually get that done. But you'll probably see me wear it before I would actually, put that up on whatever site or, whatever. So, C. Terry said, mistake. Wait, what mistake? I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's always loved and supported the channel, for everything that you guys do. Thank you guys for the viewership. Don't even matter how small of an amount that we got here. You guys, pretty much always show up whenever it is that the notifications will go off properly. Because like I told you guys before, I'm literally subscribed to my own platforms, to both channels, and I didn't get not one notification on my phone at all. So like I said, I know for years that you guys don't get the proper notifications. And again, I apologize for that. I wish that there was, in a sense, something that I could do about that. I mean, I know that the Discord will tell you guys that, hey, Seiji is going live. Hey, Seiji is, posting a video. But, again, everybody's not on Discord or know what Discord is, or, want to go from one thing to another. So I get that. So, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll figure out some stuff where it can be, way simpler for, everybody to know. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support that y'all give me every single day, nonstop. Thank you guys for always showing up over the years, because some of y'all been here for years, and I mean years. Some of you guys been here since like day one, stuff like that. That's a long time. Because I think I started this at the tail end. It was like what, like August or something, for one of the videos that I got up there, of 2018, when I seriously really started doing this. So from 2018, the tail end of like 2018, all the way until now 2025. That's a long time. That's a lot of days, a lot of months, a lot of weeks. And then that's not even to mention the videos that I did originally dealing with video games. I think I got something back there from maybe like 09 or something, like some crazy stuff, right? And yeah. So like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. It is a very fun thing to be able to do something that you love doing, right? In a sense, living out a dream or something that you created in your mind that actually became a reality. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Much love, respect, and appreciation for everything that you guys do. Namor said, peace and power, brother. And I don't know why I said it like that. You said peace and power, brother and sisters. Thank you for the live, brother Seji. Stay vigilant as always. Gil said peace and love. Pink said hit the like button. Bars. C. Terry said, I hit something and said at C. Terry, love you all and great weekend. Oh, so you added yourself. Yo, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Relevant Love said, love, love, love. So yeah, I think that is it. I think we did pretty good today. We made it to 3 hours and 40 minutes, and we consistently had about a good 40 here. Let me look in the back of the channel at this moment in time. Let me see what the numbers are stating on you. It's a little bit different because the channels will get different views depending. At the moment in time, for face value, it says we had about 590 views. Live viewers at this moment in time on the second channel was 29. If I go to the background, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. I actually got to go to the actual thing. I got to click. Let me see. There we go. I got to go to the actual background of the live stream. It says overall, we have on the analytics, 30 concurrent views and about 970 views, which is pretty good. So yeah, like I said before, much love, respect, and appreciation for you guys, always stepping up to the plate and showing up to the platform. Much love, much love, much love. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next live stream and or video. And always remember, I will have a video up of everything that you were able to see in a live stream. It'll range in between anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more, depending on how long-winded I may happen to be. So again, love you guys. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, enjoy your Sunday. Go out there and order some food, feng shui, all that good stuff. Work out, relax, catch a good movie, some animes or something, and yeah. Peace out. Before I hit that button, much love and respect to GT Howard for the $2 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm glad I actually caught that before, because as soon as that popped up, I was just about to end the stream, so I would not have been able to give a shout out and a thanks for the donation. And again, thank you to anybody who donates to the platform whenever you guys can, because I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without people like you. So shout out and thank you to GT Howard. GT Howard said, I wish I could do more. Like I said, it's not even, like I said, anything that people, even if it's like, as I like to say, even if it's like 50 cents, it don't even matter. Like that's 50 cents that you didn't even have to give, directly to the channel. Like I said, y'all got bills, relationships, kids, they got all of these stressors directly out there. And somehow, some way, y'all find a way to donate to the platform. Like I said, it's a blessing either which way it goes. So again, thank you for everything that you do. So now, on that note, from GT Howard, much love, respect, and appreciation, and I will catch you guys on the next live stream and or video. Peace out.